It's a real wacky show.
Speaking of wacky shows, welcome. We're live. I should have probably warned you. Welcome to the Halloween special.
Oh!
That's why I had that hat on there to protect me. You goon.
Happy
Hanukkah?
Eve of Hallows Eve.
Halloween.
Halloween Eve. Exactly. It will be Halloween soon. In fact, it will be Halloween where we are in roughly 2 hours.
Yes,
I don't know what the fuck
I
you're
don't
talking
know.
about.
Yeah. No, will be though. Will be. Callum, can I apologise for shooting that directly at your face?
It's alright, I've got this carefully done. I wonder if people can even hear me. I'm hoping they
What I
can.
want to know is, where does the mask end and your neck begin? That's a
good question.
Have we posted this to the Facebook
I
page?
will post it to Facebook. We built it, people will come.
Splendid.
Well,
To us! To us!
So it's I've been being professional for once and setting all this up, and actually, if you'll notice, these guys haven't bothered with a costume. But
You
it's
were
okay.
told not to bother.
No, we didn't. I didn't tell you not to bother. I just said that I'll get one because you guys haven't bothered your tits.
Should we wait?
Should we wait for people?
Until
there's someone
bring
watching.
out the costumes.
Michael, if we wait till someone's watching, we might as
You're
well
all
do
night.
it.
Everyone's away actually at Halloween party.
We've got someone watching. Break them out.
But
Callum's put on this lovely little Halloween soiree for us, which I'm
We're not allowed to touch any of it.
reliably told that will end with the sacrificial virgin. Yes.
I couldn't get a virgin because it's Glasgow.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
One fire-breathing whore.
So who are you dressed up as?
I dressed as one of the most terrible villains in recent history, Skullface from Metal Gear Solid 5.
You can say Osama bin Laden.
I thought I would do that. No, I don't mean terrible as in he did really terrible things. I just mean he's fucking terrible. So yeah.
Is he in one game?
Aye.
So he's just
he's in Ground Zeroes, but that's a prelude to
yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5. But he's shit. He's basically, they build him up and they build him up.
Spitting
and he's
so
terrible.
much on the inside of that mask. It's going to be
Ooze.
horrid.
I'm
Your
imagining
neck-
the inside
your
of this
neck
mask
is
is your
gonna be-
face.
Your neck is going to be slick with sweat.
A
Like that.
horrid mix of saliva and
sweat.
spit and spit, saliva and sweat and whatever
Greasers.
else.
Whatever else that ice
produces.
is clunk.
Yeah,
Should we get to the game?
snot. Well, okay.
Right.
We've got a number of things planned for this evening. We don't all know what they are.
Yes. There will be some amount of
By that I mean I don't know what they all are. So we
think
do
I
have
can
some
reach them,
Halloween themed games,
Right.
I believe.
Do you
As
guys
Callum
think
is
you
organised.
can do a coin toss over there?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, actually, I
Yeah.
should probably toss it. Right. Heads or Martin, heads or tails?
Tails, because I'm a
Tails.
pessimist.
I want heads.
Right, okay, that's fine. Well, that worked out splendidly.
I actually, for a split second there, was afraid.
I know.
Heads.
Yes.
So that was you, right? So
Right.
you go first. Right.
Do it, right? Go on, do it. Ah!
Right, win the game.
Right, well,
Michael wins. That's
you have to
that's the
actually
game.
tell us what
Right.
it is first.
We are doing a quiz.
Fucking hell.
Right, we're doing a quiz, right? And the purpose
Right.
of the quiz is that basically every time you answer a question correctly, you will get the chance to choose a Halloween item as part of your costume. Okay? There's
Right,
10
okay.
items altogether. You will both end up with 5 items each, irrespective of how you do in the quiz. Okay? And once you've put
Alright,
together
so,
this character...
so what you're saying is, hey, I've got 9 people watching. Hello,
Splendid.
everyone.
Welcome everyone.
So what you're saying... Were you alright? So what you're saying is that no matter what we do, we still end up with a costume.
Yes, but...
So we can't lose. Is this
You can't
like,
lose, is that what-
There's good items and
this
bad
is
items.
like the Halloween version of the bowling where you give the kid the little chute and you put up the sidebar.
It's
so
like
you just
modern
can't-
schooling. Everybody wins. Right,
Except
So-
in this version, someone's terribly humiliated.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So basically, what
It's
happens
me.
is, can you let me continue
so.
to explain
Sorry.
this very elaborate
Sorry.
game that I put together?
Sorry. He looks like a really, really shit Lone
Listen,
Ranger.
That's the whole point of
Where's
the character.
Tonto?
He is a
Where's
shit
Tonto?
too, and
Right.
he's racist.
Tonto's not racist.
Well, Johnny Depp played in the last movie. That's
Johnny
pretty
Depp
racist.
racist?
Well, a
Is he
white
not-
guy playing a
is
Native
he not?
American.
Is he not like a? Is he not?
Right, let's get off this.
Okay, right.
Fucking hell.
Callum's magical Halloween
Captain
game. Let's do
Derail,
this.
right, so the idea is once you've assembled your costume, you need to create the character who is and tells your backstory and his modus operandi.
Okay.
What does he do?
Right, okay.
So,
So I went first. So
you go first. You get the first question, Michael.
This is good. This is I fucking love this. Let's do this.
Where have they?
Please don't invade my
Right,
Sorry. Ah, no, too much.
Oh shit.
Too much.
Talk amongst yourself, guys. I'm just loading up the
What have
quiz.
you done?
The quiz has disappeared.
There's a clip.
The quiz.
Alright, I thought you said you were loading up the clip.
Fucking the
So, you doing, Martin? You alright?
I know, but did you see the Evil Dead trailer?
No, I
Yeah,
don't
guys,
know.
talk about that for a minute because
I can't. I haven't seen it.
Can we? There's only 5 minutes of it.
No, but I'm holding off because I want to enjoy the entire first episode of the new Ash versus the Evil Dead.
You're such a.
which has already got a second season.
Plus,
and
people who are watching. I am a buzzkill, but the Captain Buzzkill. But I want to watch all of it.
So we can't discuss it.
No, we can't discuss
it,
anything
okay.
else horror related.
There's only 2
Right,
things.
okay,
happening
tell me what happens. I heard that
Right.
he makes love to a deadite.
Basically, you've seen the thing, right? So
Make love
I haven't
stage,
seen
yeah.
it. I just
you've
heard
seen
that's
right.
what
So the
happened.
first part of it,
'Cause
right,
someone
he's
else
strapping
ruined it for
himself into like a corset, like he does in the trailer, right? And then he goes out and he chats up some bird at the bar by telling him he lost his hand saving an orphan from an approaching train, and he has sex with her in the toilet, and then she turns around and says, "We're coming," and then it ends.
Right.
That's it.
Nice.
You didn't really miss much. I mean, it was pretty good.
So they were coming, and he
That was the joke.
coming.
That was
Oh,
the joke.
okay.
She
Right,
was in
here is the first question.
Okay.
The first question is, prior to working,
Richard.
prior in the movie The Shining, right? Prior to
Right, you're going to have to grasp English to ask a question.
Right, hang on. I'm going to open my flap.
Oh, God.
Right. Prior in The Shining,
Right.
prior to going to the Overlook Hotel, before his alcoholism, what was Jack Torrance's previous employer? You've got a choice of 4 different ones
Alright,
here.
help me with them.
Okay. Your 4 different ones are. If I can find the
Now, I've
question
read the
here.
book and watched the film many times. I should know this,
You
but
should
I'm,
know
I'm
this.
drawing a blank.
Otherwise, you'll have to leave. The questions are the potential. Sorry, the potential
Right.
answers. Don't derail me. Let me. Don't put
Was
me
this a
on.
mask of bad grammar?
Right. It's a bad villain, bad grammar. Right. The potential answers are janitor,
Right.
doctor, lawyer, or journalist.
I'm going to say
Yeah,
janitor.
that's masterful.
I'm going to say janitor.
Janitor. Final answer.
Final answer.
That's incorrect.
Ah, mother.
Mark,
It's a Stephen. He's going to be a writer or something.
You get
He's a
to
journalist.
pick. You get to pick the first one. The correct answer was teacher.
Ah, okay. That wasn't one of the options.
Wasn't it?
Janitor. What
Right.
did you say?
Right, did Callum say teacher? He did not
Yes,
say teacher.
the 4 that are
Did
here.
he say teacher?
Janitor, doctor, lawyer.
You never
Oh, right, fuck, sorry. I didn't read the 5th one. Right. Okay.
The deck is stacked.
This is good. The deck isn't even there. The deck is shut.
I didn't read the 5th one. Right, okay.
Right.
We're going to do another question.
How many questions do you have? Does that then
I've
mess
got
us up?
25 questions.
Oh, fucking hell.
Right.
Right, okay then.
Okay.
Jesus.
I'm going to give you a fucking tough one just to
On
bang
you
you
go.
up. Right, okay.
I know, how dare we be outraged at Mike getting fucking
Who
shafted.
directed the movie 976 Evil?
Oh.
Bruce Campbell, Wes Craven, Tom Holland, Sam Raimi, or Robert Englund?
Do you know, as soon as you said that, I thought Wes Craven, but is it Tom Holland?
The correct answer is Robert Englund.
Oh.
Right, Martin, you get to choose first. Now,
What are my
close your
options?
eyes, both of you,
Wait a minute, how can I choose with my eyes shut?
because that's the fucking part of it. Right, close your eyes now. Santa's got to get his sack.
Oh, God. It's Halloween.
Ah, but it's a Halloween sack.
Don't mix up your...
Satan's got to get its
Right,
sack,
can
right?
you guys,
Festivities.
Michael, you close your eyes as well, you know?
Why that? What am I doing?
Because you could potentially see the other
Oh,
stuff.
okay. Look, I'm looking down.
Okay, right or left? Martin?
Right,
Left.
testicle
Left. Okay. Here's the first part of your costume.
But hey!
Right, you can open your eyes, Michael.
Can I put it on?
Yes. That's the first part of your costume. Okay.
Right, lovely.
The next question is for Martin. Hello, Gary. How you doing? Yeah. Well, Pound Shop Zorro, more or less, actually. Yeah. I did have a mask to went on, but
We've reached double figures. Hello, double figures.
hello, double figures. Okay. Next question. Now, I just watched this recently because it was on Netflix. It's actually remarkably creepy, that mask.
It kind of looks like a nipple. Maybe not.
That was inappropriate touching. Okay, so basically, in the movie, Night of the Comet, in 1984. How did they manage to survive? How did the main characters survive? Right. Basically, it's a dust that comes down that kills everyone, but there's a handful of people that survived. I know this. They were sleeping. They were awake. They had the right blood type. Good luck, or they were inside.
They had the right blood type.
That's incorrect. They were actually inside. Anyone inside the steel structure was saved.
I haven't seen it.
It's a good wee
yeah, it's on Netflix now.
Like
it's not really horror, but
it's kind of like a pilot. Well, there are sort of zombie-esque guys kicking about.
Right, so you got that wrong. So now I need to ask him another. Some Michael.
That's actually quite good.
Yeah, actually, you see with the laughing eyes and that laughing at the camera. What you guys don't see you laughing.
Right, Michael, left or right?
Left. Horror gloves.
Show everyone on the camera. Fucking hell. Take that taste like a smoke like Christmas.
Horror gloves.
Martin, there's your gloves.
Right.
Also horror gloves, right?
Were these all from the pound shop?
Oh yeah, every bit of this was from Poundland.
I don't know, but that'd be pretty funny if they are.
Okie doke. Next.
Have I got these round the wrong way? I think I do. Hold on.
Here's an easy one. Right, this is for you, Michael.
He needs it.
What was Ash's last name in the Evil Dead series? Whitmore, Smith, Johnson, Jones, or Williams?
Oh, fucking hell. Say it again, like, read the...
Whitmore, Smith, Johnson, Jones, or Williams?
Oh, cool.
Williams.
That is the correct answer, well done.
It is. Blind luck, you alright? How you doing? Nice to meet you.
See ya!
Right, hold on. Is Martin are we supposed to have our eyes closed?
Yeah.
Well, he can't tell.
I'm missing a bit. Oh, here it is. Right, okay. That's way more cool.
Sorry, I couldn't. That is actually you made him.
Jesus Christ! Right, you got that right. So left or right?
Left again.
Left again.
Yeah, baby.
Martin,
it's a cake. Yeah.
Can you set the price on
gloves,
it?
right?
It was 75p in
Oh,
Poundland. Yeah.
Jesus.
Hi Andy, how you doing?
Right.
Okay, so you can already feel some rich characters coming together here. I'm seeing all manner of possible
Is this
combinations.
Velcro?
Yeah, some sort of child's cake, so good luck.
That's like bodysuit. It's a child's bodysuit.
More or less. Fuck, he's going for it. You'll need to take that mask off. If you get that across, this will be amazing. Here we go.
So just as well I get this, I'm the only one in the room that would fit.
Oh, hello Phil. How you doing?
Hi Phil.
Hi Phil, you may have
FALT. Oh, fuck, good look, Martin. Nice crop top.
I know. I'm about to get the gloves to pull it off.
There's
Right?
my bow ties.
It's looking spiffing actually. Jack Reaper, welcome.
Hello Jack, you sarcastic man, you. I love you.
Right, okay, so I guess
That's looking good. Oh, it's looking good. Now, Single Acts by Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
that's looking well in scale. Okay, these outfits are
Oh, it fucking hurts.
these are coming together.
Oh, sit next to your Uncle Michael.
Uncle Michael likes
So-
it when Martin wears tight fitting clothes.
Okay, Martin, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
What was the family name in the movie Pet Cemetery?
I've not seen it.
Crandall, Crete, Smith, Goldman, or Dandridge?
Dandridge is a very Stephen King name, so I'm going to say Dandridge.
I'm afraid the correct answer was Creed.
I quite enjoy these.
Dandridge is Fright Night, I think.
Okay.
Is that not the second name of the Jerry Dandridge? Is that not the name of the vampire?
Dimension Bucket, welcome, and indeed it is quite a feast for the eyes.
Am I supposed to be looking away at this point?
Right, we've only got one more left or right.
It doesn't offer you any
Michael,
advantage seeing
Michael,
it.
left.
I know. There's no point in question.
Left or right?
Because you're not.
Left or right?
Left again.
I'm struggling to breathe in this.
So.
Up, Martin. Better assemble these. I'm gonna get myself a drink for these entertaining.
Can I get a beer?
Yes, please, you can.
See, mine's actually coming together as a pretty cool outfit, though, I must say.
What is... I've always wanted my own trident. Hold on. Do you know there's a possibility my parents are watching this?
That's it. All that private schooling's worked out.
I never went to a private school. Who's talking to you?
He sounds raging about that.
Yeah.
In a wee misstep there, Mr. and Mrs. Whitehouse.
I could have been somebody, but my mum and dad didn't care.
No. Right, here we go. Oh, it doesn't go in that end.
I think my outfit's better than yours, Michael.
Yeah. It might be. Are you still in the shop when you're over there?
Hey?
Are you still in the shop?
Fuck knows.
Amateur!
Here you go. Skull feast.
Why?
That's no refunds. No refunds. Fucking hell.
Oh, you put give me a beer in your hat.
Yeah, I give you a wee hat. Skullface brand beer, everyone. Okay, so
Ghastly Tales!
Ghastly Tales indeed.
And to all
to you, Halloween kids. Right, where's the bottle opener?
Wait, use the pink box. Cheers. Do you know it helps if I could open this? Where's the Irish lighter?
So, first question. We've done questions. Martin, who's your character? What's your character's name?
I didn't realise we were getting this close to the end. I've not thought of anything yet. You need to give us another couple of questions.
Michael, you go first. What's your character's name?
My name, Phillips the Third.
Right. Okay. What's your modus operandi? Who do you kill and how do you kill them?
I hunt particularly young journalists.
Okay. And how do you kill them?
With the written word.
The written word. Well, what a devious character. Smork and Bambit, welcome. Okay, that's good. Your character is?
I am the Smiling Reaper.
Okay.
Okay, so you know how the Grim Reaper appears to old people who've died, he appears and he comes in.
Unmasked!
Oh, John Phillips the Third.
Right, the Smiling Reaper. Okay, so the Grim Reaper appears to old people when they die, and he comes and he takes them away to the spirit world. When a child dies, the Smiling Reaper, with his happy smiling giraffe face, not at all creepy, appears to take the dead children to the underworld. That's my character.
That's a lovely character. Okay.
Yeah, he kills children.
Right. Okay. Well, as do many, I suppose. You might have made some kind of low rent lightsaber. Every time.
I've actually got a mouth ulcer.
Sorry.
And this is endless.
Did I actually hit your mouth ulcer?
Right, where's the bottle opener going? To business.
Don't know. John Phillips III requires his bottle open.
I know.
Oh, sure.
Why John Phillips?
Oh, yeah!
What's that, mace?
Oh, fuck's sake.
All you've done is spray that into my drink.
Sorry. Poundland, you.
Right, we should probably.
Crack on, yeah.
Oh! That was right in my ear.
This is absolute shit. I don't know what I expected, but. Fuck. Maybe not. Oh, there's a big backlog in here. That's why.
Anyway, to business.
Okay,
Rocket come!
I thought we would start with something light.
Right.
After that heavy amount of stuff there. I've got a wee bit of interesting light reading here.
What does it mean?
Okay, so the.
Can I get the bottle opener, please?
You keep saying that, but I don't have it.
Yeah, it's going to be really boring for the guys at home.
Exactly.
Okay,
so let me get that.
It's entertaining for me though. Right, so we have. I brought. Oh, that was you.
There we go.
Just jumped.
You brought what?
I just jumped. I brought a dictionary. This is actually goes quite well with this. I brought a dictionary of omens and superstitions.
Right.
So, what we'll do is, and it's soaking. I don't know what one.
If you want to prepare yourself, I've got a very quick thing we can go through. Fuck, well that started working.
What I want is for the viewers, someone to say a letter from the alphabet, any letter.
Any letter, you've
Any
got
letter.
26 possible choices, guys. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that,
Unless it's the Greek alphabet.
can I give you a list of people that were born on October 31st?
Yes.
Peter Jackson.
Alright. That's
Okay,
interesting.
made quite a few horror films
Nice.
himself. Rob Snyder.
Right.
Oh dear.
Everyone loves him. John Candy,
Right.
of course,
That's
much
interesting.
loved and much
Being
missed.
sarcastic.
I know it's hard to tell with him. I don't know if it's his character or what. Okay, let's go. There's a lot of people here that don't really matter.
Has anyone come up with a letter yet? Letter?
You got 3 deep.
Letter
He's
from
lost
the
interest.
alphabet.
He's
Stephen Rea.
checking his emails now.
That's it, I know. Logging this off. Oh, fuck, I seem to have minimised the window.
Oh, it won't stop. Oh, it's stopped. It's fine.
Classic Michael.
It's-
Okay, we have we've had someone join the right. Okay, the first letter from we've got J, then we've got
Right.
X, and then we've got Z.
When you say J,
We've literally got someone join the comment called Troll. Welcome, Troll.
right, so Jai.
J.
Fucking hell.
What?
J, not Jai.
As in G.
No.
No, J as
for
in you know.
J.
J for
As
J.
in, aye, Jai.
Jai is a made-up Scottish colloquialism.
Is it?
Aye,
Really?
J is the name of the letter.
Is it?
Aye.
I
Jai
should
is
know
what
that.
Jai is.
I'm meant to write and
Fucking
stuff.
writer.
Right.
He writes Jai instead of J.
Well, I don't.
People are still like, what is Jai?
I think we may have the only troll in the chat that in any chat that's actually made a serious contribution. He's given us a letter.
Thank you.
Troll.
What,
Thank you.
what letter
Useful.
did he give us?
He gave us X, but actually Jack Reaper got in before him and gave us
Alright,
Jai.
so let's try Jai.
And then Smorkin'
Jai
Babbitt gave us
first.
Z.
Okay, so the dictionary
Nobody's gonna
of
know what you mean
the
when you say
dictionary Jai. The dictionary of omens and superstitions basically has a list of omens and superstitions. Full enough. So under Jai, we've got January. A British superstition among farmers says that a mild January will result in wintry weather from February right through to the end of May,
That was certainly
and as a result
scary right there.
cause poor crops. That's not a very good.
And that's why you don't see
We've got
any
another one.
farmers going on to become weathermen.
I've got another one then. We've
Okay.
got jewellery.
Yes?
In America, it is said that bad luck will result for the owner if jewellery is redesigned without following the original design as closely as possible.
That's ridiculous.
Right, so
we can. Right, can I read this one? No, this is the last one under,
Right,
under
last
Jai,
one.
because
J.
I've never heard of it before. Japonica berries. Some English country people believe that these large green berries were the original forbidden fruit of the Garden of Eden, and naturally to eat them is to court misfortune. Nonetheless, they are eagerly harvested and used in jam. Jam making in a great many other parts of the British Isles. There you go.
Very good. Next one is X.
Oh, X, right, try all. X.
Jack Reaper said he had no idea we pronounced it Jai. We don't, it's just
J.
Michael.
It's just Michael. It's like, yeah.
Okay, right.
I
A,
know-
B,
I
C,
know-
D, E, F, G, H, I, Jai!
My
Okay.
stepdad used to say Jai. I think it's a local thing. I think it's
And
a
now
certain
Martin's
part of
killed him.
Right,
it. He is actually dead.
I just realised that afterwards. I apologise.
So
Put the mask on, hide my tears.
for some reason, it's kind of weird. It goes. Look at this. It goes Y, then X.
It goes
then
Y
Z.
and then J.
So this hasn't even got the alphabet right.
They don't
It just
care,
says
just give them one.
X, Y, Z. It is said it's said to be unlucky for any author to have the letters X, Y, and Z in the last sentence of any book. For this is an omen that he will never write another. That's a shit joke, isn't it? That's pretty shit.
Yeah.
Right, what's the last letter? And we'll
The last letter is Z.
Is it?
Or Z, as you
Well,
call
that's
it.
it. That was it.
Oh,
I
fuck.
read it.
Oh, well, any more letters?
Oh, that was a fun game,
for Michael's
everyone.
shit book.
Can I get the bottle opener, please?
Oh, yeah, there's one here.
What are we moving on to next, chaps?
Oh. In the same vein, I brought the world's most incredible mysteries. The best of 14 times. If you've not heard of 14 times, it's a magazine about strange mysteries. It's got a kind of weird mix of skepticism and speculative nonsense.
Alright, well, give us some...
Hit me with a number between, let's say, 10 and 190.
10 and 190,
10 and
guys.
190, and I'll pick a random piece of shit to read from this book. In the meantime,
Or
you have anything else to
190, as Michael says.
Between 100. No, I don't.
Right, so a number between 4 and 190,
Right,
yeah?
number.
I'll say 10 because I don't know how many.
Alright,
pieces
guys,
of shite this
a number
book.
between 10 and 190. And the live stream will not progress
No.
until anyone does it.
In the meantime,
Even though
let's
it's
all
a big
stop.
lag.
Well, let's have a
Stare off
double
into the
toffee muffin.
I'll continue with my beer if you don't mind.
You have the double toffee muffin, mate.
Fucking hell, they just
You
ruin
need it.
everything. They ruin it. They suck the fun out of everything. They
It's
dress
quite
me up.
it's spooky roleplay though. We're being fun vampires.
Yes, sir.
Tell you what,
I've sprayed some of this though.
no wonder it only cost £1.
That's probably going right inside the computer fan and the live stream's going to stop.
Well, what will we do while we wait for a number?
Alright, here we've got numbers. We've got multiple numbers here. First one off the bat, Jack Reaper again. Jack, you are a quick motherfucker.
Let me guess, 69?
89.
89. Oh,
You were-
He's doing it wrong.
Okay, what do we want? Edwin Robinson gradually lost his sight and hearing after an accident in February 1971 when he jackknifed his tractor trailer rig to avoid hitting a skidding car and suffered a severe head injury. On 4th of June 1980, Robinson, by now 62, was out looking for his pet chicken, Tuk Tuk, near his home in Falmouth, a suburb of Portland in Maine, and took shelter under a tree during an afternoon thunderstorm. He was knocked to the ground by lightning, came to after 20 minutes, and went into the house to take a nap.
Is that it?
After a while, he found that his central vision was back, although he couldn't move his eyes. And the next morning, he could hear perfectly without his hearing aid, which, in any case, had been burnt out by the lightning. He had survived the lightning because he was wearing rubber-soled shoes. A week or two later, he was in New York for an appearance on ABC TV's Good Morning America. He said his scalp felt funny. It felt like I had whiskers on my head. As a young man, he had thick bushy hair but had been bald for 35 years. Now his hair was returning. By the end of August, he had a full head of hair and excellent sight and hearing. Medical experts predictably asserted without examining that Robinson had been suffering from hysterical blindness and deafness. I can't see it.
He was a liar.
It couldn't have lasted this long, said Robinson's ophthalmologist, Dr. Albert Moulton of Portland. From the physical findings originally, he was definitely blind. This was reported in the Omaha, Nebraska, World Herald, 7th of June, 1980.
So lightning cured
His
deafness,
blindness, and made his hair grow back. So,
And it also brought Frankenstein
if there's
back
any
from being
bald
a pile
bastards
of
in the
Frankenstein's
chat,
monster.
yes,
rather.
it did. Yeah.
Yep, so we're going to get hit by some lightning, guys.
We're going to get hit another one.
Yeah. Next number is from Smorkin Babbitt. Smorkin Babbitt from
Well, I'll do it with the
the
mask on or
YouTube chat
off.
says 45.
45.
It's actually quite good in your head. It's got a rather amusing shadow.
Okay, Monsters of the Deep. Why?
I'm sorry.
Right, carry on.
What do we want?
We've got ISIS in the chat. Ahoy, ISIS!
Listen, you've been causing an awful lot of bother.
Guys, ISIS, your social media campaign is literally on fire. If you could give us any tips.
If you could retweet Ghastly
Yeah,
too,
that
we'd love
would
it.
be
Oh, Jesus.
Jihad, mate, not Jesus. Okay.
Right, are we good? Right, lake monsters.
Throw
Sweden.
more benders off roofs, please. From Jack Reaper.
Did we throw a bender off a roof?
Jack, I think that's where we have to differ. It's a bit harsh.
Did we say something about benders?
Maybe you did.
No, you didn't.
It's like something we can't say.
No, he's talking about ISIS.
Oh, right, okay.
For a second Callum was worried that he'd been inadvertently homophobic.
He just casually dropped that one. He always says about throwing gay people off.
Yeah, no, I just didn't want to make sure I've been sleep talking
This
again.
is getting very dark.
Right.
So, lake monsters, Sweden. Anton Stockel of Kiruna had taken his son's family to their summer cottage in Salmi near Lake Tornea.
Can I stop you for a second, Michael? That's not going to end well. And I don't know what you're trying to achieve. Carry on. Unless you're going to use that as a giant straw, which we'd all like to see.
You're not talking.
Right, cut.
You just look like you're floating.
Now that actually was working a little bit. Right, okay, hold on. I need my armour.
Sorry, can't even do it. Right, okay, carry on, please.
That's alright. Anton Stockel of Kiruna had taken his son's family to their summer cottage in Salmi near Lake Tornea. They had just begun boating with his grandson Per, when his grandson Per cried, "Grandpa, what is that moving out on the lake?" Stockel said, "We saw, about 400 metres away, a creature which slowly moved towards the deeper waters. Its colour was coal black and its length was about 15 to 20 metres. Stockel said his father had seen a monster in the lake well over 60 years ago. Someone saw something.
Some sort of creature.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Loch Ness Monster on holiday. Okay,
there's a picture of something that a Japanese fishing vessel towed up in New Zealand. Some people think it looks like a plesiosaur, but people who actually know about these things say that it's a
whale or something.
It's basically the fat off a rotting whale.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Those are the best bits. Can I tell you a little thing
Being
that happened
Japanese,
to me
we
today?
probably ate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Unless I did it live stream.
because as usual we were doing the live stream and it was a bit all last minute preparing it, which by the way Callum's done a splendid job putting all this together.
Yeah,
as
thanks.
usual,
I wasn't
last
fucking
minute.
last minute.
You're in the fucking pound shop today.
Yeah,
buying this
okay,
shit.
alright,
So
carry on.
anyway, I went up into the attic. Oh!
Carry on.
I went up into the attic to find some of these books because I thought there'd be some interesting stuff for the live stream. So I went up there. Now the place that I'm in at the moment I moved into about a year ago, and I haven't been up in the attic very often. I just sort of put a few boxes up there and then sort of left it. I went up. No word of a lie.
There was a ghost.
There was. Now I know it was paint or something like that, right? But there was there was a big, massive, bloody handprint on one of the walls.
Right.
It was there. I'm just telling you, it was there.
So
But-
someone had like a
but they
red
probably put a hand-
paint and then
they
just got up
probably-
What do you
going,
mean his handprint?
this will
Yeah, but
shit
there's
up
nothing
the
else
next-
in there that's like red paint.
Yeah.
But I
thought
think
that
someone's.
will
I think
intentionally shit the
someone's.
next
I
person
think
up.
someone's deliberately done that. Yeah.
Well, that's like that couple that moved into the house recently in America and found
or
that.
some bad shit went down there, and that's the.
No,
only-
But
no,
if
they
it was
found
blood, it would
they,
still be
they,
red,
they
right?
basically they'd wallpapered over a wall, but they decided that before they did it, they were going to write a whole load of things in red paint all over the wall, like get out of this house and you're all going to die and stuff like that. So they wrote this all over the wall, then wallpapered it over. The new owners moved in, took the wallpaper off, found all this, and then tried to basically put the sale back. Because
Jesus.
they were fucking panicking about the house, and then the people were like, "No, we just did it."
Maybe they were lying. Maybe they were like, "Oh no, that was us."
Yeah. So glad we just gave you that all that money, you dicks.
Yeah, the walls were bleeding.
Mike wants me to put my mask back on.
It's
That's very
interesting
kind of
though that you get this idea that houses, I mean, not literally with that bloody handprint in my house, but houses can be stained by bad events and things. And not far from where I grew up, there was a house where the family sadly all died in a house fire. And that house, I mean, it was a lovely house and it had been completely renovated after the fire. And they tried to sell it for years. It just lay empty because no one would want to buy it because of that.
Not naming any names because it's fresh in recent history, but do you know, are you aware of the recent killing in Glasgow of the girl outside the nightclub and they found her inside a barrel?
In the barrel, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, the gentleman that did it, that they called...
I wouldn't say gentleman.
Or yes,
young man.
The
young
psychopath in question that actually did it was caught and is now in jail, or is facing jail.
He's like a serial rapist and everything, the guy, isn't he?
I can't remember, but I know it was pretty
He was
anyway.
borderline. I mean, if he did get away with that, he'd have been a serial.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he'd what do you call it? He'd like hit her with a spanner and then put her inside it. Tried to dissolve her in acid at a farm. They found her on a farm. Anyway,
used the wrong acid.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Used LSD.
That's how they caught him, because he was talking about dragons. But basically, his house went up for sale recently. And in Scotland,
he was a rich kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in the west end of Glasgow. So the house went up for sale, and I think it's kind of buyers beware in Scotland, so they don't need to disclose it, but people knew it anyway. So the house sold for significantly under its actual value because of the fact that he owned it. But the thing is, he never actually did anything to the house or anything. I think it was just tainted by the fact that he'd owned it.
It's funny because, to me, if buying a house, making a huge financial choice like that is a time when you're probably motivated more by practical concerns than anything. So you would think that people would go, look, it's a really good price.
Buy the Beatles house. Yeah, buy it. Buy it.
Well, unless there's bodies under the floorboards, then what are you worried about?
Well, in that case, we don't know that.
We
don't know that he didn't do anything at the house.
Yeah, but what he did?
Were
you the first person to move into this house?
No, there was two people before me. But this house is 2000. Well, it's not a house.
They wouldn't agree to move.
2003.
Yeah.
So it's only 12 years old, and I've been in it since 2008. So, boom. So I'm fairly confident nothing bad happened prior to me coming.
Would it change your like view of the place if something bad had happened here?
My
I don't know.
The house that my wife grew up in, that house
it's still kind of weird, although I know her very well. It's still
very
weird
to call her my wife.
You being an adult.
Yeah, it's strange to hear me being an adult.
Tell us a story, Father.
The house that she was in when she was a little girl, there was a lot of stories about it being that it's just a tragic place, and she found out after moving there that somebody committed suicide, and it was actually in the room that she slept in.
Shit.
And she actually found out about it as she was a wee girl, so she knew about it, and she was still in that room.
People have died in most houses, though.
No, I know that, but and the thing is, probability would dictate that you're going to have a house where like a bad things happen to every single person who's lived there. But there was some other
miscarriage, let's say.
There was some other There's some other freaky stuff that happened. There was a young boy who was about 8 or 9 years old. This is after Kirsty and her family moved away, and the boy was playing in the garden outside the house, and he dropped dead of a heart attack.
The boy?
Yeah.
I mean, what age was he?
He was like 8 years old.
Fuck me.
So like, there was a bunch of other stuff, really bad things that happened there. So. Like Kirsty's dad said that it was dad or was mum, I can't remember. There was people in the family where like it was a like that idea, it's like a sort of stained place. It's a place that just brings badness to it. Now I know it's an irrational thing to say that, but
that's strange. I mean, I think I've spoken about it on before, but my parents' house, or I guess it's my house as well. It depends on your perspective on that, but. I've not been cast out, like I'm allowed to go back in.
Does this burn, by the way?
But let's not find out, because it'll be fucking toxic as fuck. Yep, it does burn.
It melts.
Breathe it in, you idiot. Smoke up, Johnny! But yeah, basically the house that they have is about, oh god, it's at least 200 years old, maybe more. It's really old. Used to be like a hotel and a station master's house and stuff before. The previous owner died in my room, but like there's never a bad vibe in it. I don't know, but some people say like
that's because ghosts don't exist.
Well, that's true, but that's like some people say they can go into
He's
house
ruined
and
the
get a
live
bad
stream.
vibe, but
Of luring ghastly tales, the whole thing's a lie.
my mum always claims that she went into a place before that they got the one that they did, and there was just a really bad vibe in it, and she just couldn't bring herself to make an offer on it, and then the next place they came to just felt right. But it's kind of strange that way. Can I also make you both put on your glow pendants, please, guys?
Dimension Bucket says it's hard to get a bad event out of the wash sometimes. It's
Yeah,
very
because
difficult.
Jack Reaper said that sometimes you get bad events in your pants. You can't get them out.
Mike thought it was a clever
I
metaphor.
thought it was actually like, that's quite good, that's quite good. I was like,
I feel like Ashen's opening this terrible bit of plastic shit.
Callum has given us these glow pendants to wear. Mine says, be seen on Halloween. So obviously for kids to wear so that they can be seen.
Kids.
It says Fright Night.
They meant to.
Warning, light sticks are not toys. Well, they've taken the fun out of that right away. How did you get this?
Have you got? There's like a cover that goes over the top of them.
I know, but you snap
just
it.
snap it in half.
Yeah, it's gonna burst.
Well, it's not going to burst in half, but just break it in the middle.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it wants to. It feels like it. Oh, yeah,
There you go.
You're not going to do it. It's just going to go.
I remember I was at a sub club, which is a very famous club in Glasgow, and usually full of fucking people pilled out their face. But I was in it once, and we'd taken a ton of glow sticks with us, and the guy, this guy was doing this like fucking I don't know, like kind of abstract art piece, and it was basically 5 different TVs. Carry on in silence, boy. 5 different TVs, right, with an eye on it, like and a blinking eye for 40 minutes, and each eye was in different colours, right? It was the most wanky thing I've ever seen in my life, right? And we came down, we had these glow sticks, right, and the guy came fucking jumping in, right, and he was like, what are you doing with those glow sticks? They're banned here. And I was like, alright, fuck it, cool down, we've just got a couple of them. And the guy was just like, I've worked for weeks to create the lighting ambience in here. And I was like, you're a fucking jester, mate, fuck off. Right, so he was like, if you don't get id of those glow sticks, we'll throw you out. So you know what we did? We had fucking tons of them on us. We had a couple on us on chains, because we're fucking Mac Daddy. But we had a ton of these cheap ones that came in tubes. So we just handed them out to everyone in the club. And the guy came back later on, we're like, what are you going to do? Throw everybody out?
And he threw
everyone out. And that was the end of the story. No, it wasn't.
Callum had ruined everyone's night.
We've got some more people joining us. Welcome, Nance. How you doing?
Hello, I've just created...
Andrew says, fun fact, glow sticks, glow pendants are now made with 100% recycled uranium.
Yeah.
It's good to hear that they're getting use out of them. Have you got your little pendant made up? I know you've got it inside your eye, which is quite creepy, but... Oh, that's lovely. Should we turn the light off for a second just to see it full whack? Mind you, the webcam probably will never recover.
I know.
Michael's is C-3PO.
Don't you... It'll spring back. It's like...
Oh, that's great. Oh, look at the wee... I almost think I prefer this lighting setup, actually. It's quite...
Can people still see us?
More or less.
You can see Callum.
Yeah. And I'll fire it back up.
So... Hold on.
Alright.
Everyone just wait.
Just wait.
Everyone's desperately waiting to see this pendant round Mike's neck.
It's about to happen.
Right.
That was fucking anticlimactic.
Yeah.
That's spiffy.
Hold on.
That actually suits you better because you've ended up with that mask. That's brilliant. What an ensemble piece. Mick is asking if you are a skeleton giraffe hybrid. No, a giraffe skeleton hybrid.
No,
he said that shit is scary as fuck.
No. I'm a Grim Reaper for children. I put a mask on and then they're not scared at all.
Very, very true comment from Jack Reaper. There's always some killjoy cunt when you're off your face. Very true, especially in Subclub.
And Callum is
because
that killjoy cunt.
It's almost as bad. Well, actually, the problem with Subclub is all the folk come from Glasgow Uni because Glasgow Uni doesn't have a union anymore. Glasgow Uni. QMU doesn't count. It's fucking
Right.
Alright, West End.
Jesus. You're a GU boy.
That's it.
And
No, I didn't go to Glasgow Uni. I
No,
went
but
to,
the way you were talking there sounds like you were a GU boy.
no, I went to the Hive a couple of times. Anyway,
And so ended Ghastly.
step aside, peasant. I'm the peasant in this scenario.
So-
right, okay. So I wanted to take us on to a discussion point, if you wouldn't mind. I know it's been quite intensive with me so far, but my question is, what is your most fond Halloween memory?
Oh, don't.
Oh, is it going to make you sad?
Yeah, because look, I was a little bit of a strange kid, and Halloween was...
of a strange adult.
Yeah, Halloween was...
Fucking hell!
Jesus! Halloween was the... This is a serious moment, man. It was actually in your teeth. Sorry, you alright? I didn't realise you were holding that in your teeth. That must have really hurt when I did that. Sorry. So, everyone, Martin. Everyone, Martin.
So that's Kang, everyone. Actually, before you start, I'm not into happy hardcore at all, but I do like my deep electro. Carry on.
So, you're pointing at the screen.
Yeah, it's because I've got the chat here, so fucking get it right, Jack.
Halloween was the most important night of... Oh, and now my skeleton's falling off. Well, that's just fucking perfect.
Most important night of the year. Fuck.
Right, guys, you animal.
Right, continue your shitty story. Your story.
I'm not doing that where you've got a fucking light hanging at your mouth.
To clarify, I'm not partly Dutch, just part of my family is Dutch, but it's an extension after me, so I'm not actually...
No!
I don't think there's any Dutch blood in me, I think I'm mostly Viking.
Does this help?
Sorry, I need to keep pointing that way.
Yes, thank you.
Pointing at the chat.
That's quite terrifying. I think Martin has just swallowed a light.
Fucking hell, you just regurgitated it. Right, sorry, tell us your heartfelt story. Sorry. No, please.
Right.
There's at least 2 people in the chat who want to hear it.
Oh, who wants to hear? I need validated, everyone. Who needs to hear my story?
This is the story of young Mikey Whitehouse.
This is the story of a young boy.
Why would nobody play with me in my Chewbacca costume?
Because you're weird.
Get out, Michael.
And
Be gone, weird child. We have enough normal ones.
I know.
Right, sorry,
who would dress up as the dog from Star Wars? Halloween was my favourite time of the year. I loved all things horror, still do. And Halloween was kind of the one night when I felt like I could kind of be myself, yeah. And I don't know. I wrote a story called The End of All Hallows Eve, and this is not a plug. Which
available on Wattpad,
which was really about the last time I went out for Halloween, when I was kind of like pushing all my friends to still go out, but they were all kind of like, mate, they're 13, you know. But
as he was just shagging a bird, Mike was like, come on, trick or treat. I'm like, no, that's cool.
It certainly wasn't me.
I think, Michael, I think I've got a definite go here. But the trick or treating, guys.
But I think
the Goonies.
My favourite memory, bizarrely, like one of the favourite memories, also like quite a sad memory, but a strange memory.
Like a firelight glow.
Come on, he's actually trying to tell a heartfelt story.
I'm trying to give it atmosphere.
No, it's fucked now.
No, come on. I want to hear. I want to hear your dark secrets. Come on.
It's fucked now.
That's mostly in this fucking ear and his mouth.
I'm so sorry, mate. I did not know I was going to do that. I thought it was going to come out as like a string. Instead, it came out as a fucking paste.
Sorry.
I'm
saving it all up, Michael. Saving it all up.
Do you want some kitchen paper?
Have we got any kitchen towel or something? Or
You're just going to leave that as a
battle scar.
Fuck. I'll be back in a minute.
It's alright.
It'll just come off. It'll come off. I'm so sorry. I genuinely thought that would come out. So sorry, man. It's okay.
To be fair, you probably shouldn't have modified it to work.
I genuinely. I genuinely thought that was going to come out like that, like because that's the way it'd been coming out before, as an actual string. It says spooky silly string, not.
I'm just having a wee look, mate.
No, you're not.
Just tell
It's
your
fine.
story.
No, it's fine. So Halloween was the most important. My favourite memory is just my mum and dad making me like loads of different outfits and things
Making
like
love.
Jesus! No, that wasn't my favourite.
That was your worst memory.
To be fair, that's how he exists. We can't be too critical.
No.
15 people! 15 people!
High five!
Right, let's finish a story.
High five!
Let's finish a story, guys. Come on.
No, that was just that. Probably my favourite memory was
Going out on Halloween, right?
making loads. No, but there was one night where
Captain Critical.
something really traumatic happened in terms of, like, I saw someone I knew get run over, and that was like a horrible memory on Halloween.
On Halloween?
Yeah, but then we went home and we watched Ghostwatch for the first time. That was when it was broadcast
Speaking
live.
of which, I need to give you your DVD back. Unfortunately, it's now a giveaway item, guys!
I was like, what's going on? So it's not particularly interesting. Anyway, what's your favourite Halloween?
Going out on Halloween.
Callum, what's your favourite Halloween story?
My favourite Halloween story is, I think it was probably when Star Wars came back out. My dad made me a Luke Skywalker outfit, right? And it was mostly, he like cut up a sheet, like a white sheet, and it made like the desert, robes like from the first movie, right? But there wasn't any lightsabers available at the time, right? So I had a red, I had a red mop, like a red, like, you know how you get those like red plastic mops?
Yeah.
He took the mop head off of it, right? And then he basically like modified the bottom of it to look like a lightsaber, right? So it couldn't have been any less convincing, right? Couldn't have been any less convincing at all. But he tried his best and it was great, right? And I just pretended it was like one of the pre-special effects lightsabers that they actually used in the movie. Anyway, we were fucking about and there was a painting table in the dining room because they were painting at the time, right? And he climbed up on the thing and shouted, "I'm your father," and jumped off and swung it and smashed the light fitting that he just installed, smashed the whole light fitting. And my mum came in with absolutely perfect comic timing.
Do you know this explains a lot?
Mum came in with absolutely perfect comic timing and he goes, "Yes, he is your father. I wish I could deny it."
Oh God!
As fucking the sparks were coming out of the lightning. Which is how you got his eyesight back. No. So that was a pretty good. But the place that I grew up in, because originally I was born in Glasgow and then I ended up moving to the countryside when I was like 6, and then I moved away when I was 16. So like for a good bit of my life I was out in the country, but it was always shit for trick or treating. The place where I lived, Sandton, and there was a lot of people that went there. There was like young families or people that kind of went there and retired. And a lot of the older people didn't open their doors, but there was kind of like a slightly, I don't know, there was a weird kind of middle bit that was kind of a bit posher, and they used to just give you money. Like
some people would do that for Halloween. But that would happen at mine as well. If you turned up at someone's door and they went, "Hey, here's money, children."
A couple of quid, yeah.
Did you ever go into someone's house though and just get a really weird vibe?
Yeah.
Like, because that happened a couple of times to me. There was one in particular that always stays in my mind.
Nance girl, can I just say that leave the distasteful jokes to us?
What did she say?
She just said with that hand gesture, I thought he was going to say he made you a dildo. That's my dad. That's weird.
That is. It's just repressed memories for Callum. He's remembering his lightsaber. That's just a massive.
I was Luke Skywalker.
Luke pie poker. I don't know. Sorry. Right. So.
Look, guy saber.
Yeah. Oh God. Sorry, that's kind of derailed things. No, but I remember going into a guy's house and it was just really, really strange vibe. Like honestly, like you kind of just you wanted to leave.
Is this at Halloween, or are we talking about like?
No.
Have we gone back to our previous thing about weird houses?
Is this when he made you duck for apples with no trousers on?
And the funny thing is, it was a guy who lived near us, and he always seemed really nice. But just that night, I remember it was me and a couple of other mates, and we were trick or treating. So guysing, Stuart will kill me for
what kind of age are we talking?
Probably about 10 or 11, something like that.
No, but the guys who says you went to?
13. No, he was about, it was in like 70s, I would say.
Right, okay.
And he
didn't talk like this now,
no,
did he?
No.
Go on, Michael, guns it down.
He seemed nice enough, and then we went into his house, and it just became really odd. Really weird.
Did he have kids or anything?
No. Not I know of.
And it was just him, no wife, no significant other.
It just
became 7-year-old man and a bunch of kids.
It just became a bit strange. See now, like when we get like geysers or trick or treaters, they're always accompanied by their adults. By their adults. I have found this adult.
Yeah.
He is mine.
He is taking a small portion of our sweets in
come, Harold, come.
And he will stop any potential buggerers.
I know.
Thank you, adult.
I'm sorry. I think Martin was a little bit off put by the
thing blasting in his ear, quite possibly, and or mouth.
I know. I'm sorry, mate.
I want to hear more about your Halloween. You were really
all you said
lit.
was.
Well, I don't. Thing is, although I like horror and all that, I've never really. The thing is, I'm really lazy.
Fun. We talked about that before.
No, I'm quite lazy and quite disorganised, and I've never really been able to get my shit together for Halloween.
Or live stream preparation.
Pretty much. But you know,
I don't get this lazy thing though. You can bring this up.
In terms of
yeah, but that's weird though as well, because you say you're lazy, but some things you'll knock your pan in for.
Just when I get focused on one thing, but like. See, there's no, I don't know, Halloween, I've never really been hugely into it. Like,
right, what events do you like?
I've always been try and pull something together the night before.
Because you can't be fucked with Christmas either, so what, is there anything that gets you excited?
No, I just want normality.
Pancake Tuesday!
No, I like it now.
Ooh, Easter!
I like it now more than I like, well no, actually I did enjoy it as a kid, but it was never a big thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, growing up in Scotland,
it was
16 viewers.
It's not a big thing, like compared to how you see in like American movies and stuff.
Penny for a guy was more the big thing.
I mean, we would go out guising. I mean, I remember I used to, for a brief time, lived in a tiny little village called Glendaruel in the middle of nowhere. I remember going out dressed as a sheet ghost with the two eye holes cut. And going round the village.
But that was a really racist village, though, was it not? Was that not some kind of statement?
I remember going to the guy who was the vicar of the village with my mum, like knocking his door. Like we called it guising, right? So in Scotland, originally way back, we didn't have trick or treating, right? What you did, was you had guising. So guising, just for anyone who's watching that doesn't understand it, trick or treating emerged from guising. Guise as in to wear a guise, a false identity. So you go to people's houses dressed, no one would know who you would be. You'd be invited in, you'd be wearing a false identity, like dressed up as a monster or whatever, and you would tell jokes and you would sing songs and you would do something for your money.
You would Penny for the guy, was that not guising?
That was Guy Fawkes.
No, I know.
No, guising, to wear a guise is to wear a false identity. So anyway, I remember going round to the vicar's, walking through the.
This is about to get dark, people.
Walking through the cemetery and going to like the vicarage and all that, and going like knocking on. But my mum was with me, knocking on the vicar's door. We didn't go to church or anything like that there, but like he was like invited us in, and I told some jokes, and then
get out, Satan!
No,
we've got an amazing comment in the chat. Sorry, 2 seconds. It says the dull cunt sprayed his eye. Welcome, dull cunt.
I'm the dull cunt then.
From Fedora Tip.
Thank you.
Welcome, Fedora Tip. You can hang around. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you doing?
I know. As long as you call me dull, that's fine. Aye.
And cunt. Yeah. Some of that was right in. Oh man.
Oh, I know. Quick! Someone set fire to me so I'm not dull.
I know. Let's put some on this side so that they can.
No, sorry.
Someone just said that you used the word normalcy. They said, "Are you our Carl Pilkington?"
I said normality.
I believe you said normality as well. People are mishearing you through the internet.
Normalcy is American.
What was I going to say? I'm pretty confident Martin didn't do it right. I believe he's got relative qualifications in English literature. Anyway. But your younger siblings, there's a bit of an age gap, right? Did you go out with them, or did you just go out yourself?
Nah.
So do you think there's part of that, maybe not taking the younger ones?
I don't
or
know.
did you ever have to take them out?
No, it was never a big thing. It's bigger now, I think, Halloween, than it was when I was a kid. It was pretty minor back when I was a kid. I mean, Mike's obviously a freakishly unusual case, and he can try and get back at me all he likes, but he knows that's the case. And also, what's going to happen is Callum's booze is going to hit the deck when I swing round.
Yeah.
Take his.
If you take any of my fucking bottles out, I'm going to go fucking nuts. Another beer would be great.
I like some of your blood, Mike.
Smart.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry.
Smorking Babbitt. Smorking Babbitt said, "Did you hear about the guy found in Glasgow Park, face down in a pool of milk with a banana sticking out his ass? They say it was the serial killer."
What's this? Oh yeah.
Glasgow Parks. Can we talk about Kelvin Grove Park? The amount of fucking stuff. Like, wait, mine's is this one. Wait, what are the other beers? Are any of the beers yours, or what did we do?
I've got rum. You could make me a rum as long as you don't put any fucking funny business in it.
Just a beer here. A boat full of red paint crashed into a boat full of blue paint. The survivors were all marooned. I like that, Jack Reaper. Very good.
Is that because I mentioned jokes earlier on?
I think so. Much like ourselves.
Yeah, they've got to make their own fucking entertainment in the chats. This is such bullshit.
Where's your rum, man?
I'll get it.
I'm trying to think of it.
No, I'll get it.
I'm trying to think of anything else.
What were you touching it, motherfucker?
Oh, I remember the first time I got into a club was on Halloween.
Go on, regale us, Grandad.
I will indeed tell you that. When I went...
They were playing the most recent gramophone records.
Is that silly? Oh, right, fuck. I thought that was a crack in that chair. It's fucking stuff. Alright, never mind. Anyway,
it does feel a bit wobbly. What?
What do you get when you goose a ghost? A handful of sheet?
Good shit, right? What do you get when you goose a ghost? A handful of shit.
Very good. Right,
look at a wee smile at you.
That was good. It was just the glow from me stick. Yeah, the first time I got into a club was on Halloween. That's why it's special for me as well. I didn't have any ID. When I went to uni, I was 17, so I was kind of at a disadvantage because 17 viewers, we're going for meteoric here.
It's 17. It's whatever that is, landmark.
Fucking
there we go, everyone. Can we carve that in a pumpkin face? Can we? Can we carve that in a pumpkin?
That's not mine.
What?
That's not mine.
What's it doing here then?
Well, carve it up and
is this your sister's?
Yeah.
What? See, that's your mind.
Right,
that's your mind.
Let's not objectify this. Let's take this out before this derails.
Sister, you say?
Butternut squash.
You
just leave it there because then it will just seem weird.
Should we cut pumpkin into it?
That's
right,
what
so
that's what I'm saying.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah. The first time, like when I went, can we get back to my story? When I went to uni, I was only 17, so that was a bit of a disadvantage because everyone else that I lived with,
fucking child prodigy.
Well, I was always young. When I started school, I was like 4.5, so I was one of the younger ones. Too
fucking
fast for you, son. Too fast for you.
I wanted to see if I could take your no, don't. Give me your.
I'll fucking ram that right up your arse. Anyway. The problem was everyone else that was in my...
I nearly got it. It's so close. No way! What?
I guess they're getting confiscated. What?
Right, this is fucking... this is going a bad way.
Continue, Cal.
This is descending into chaos.
At least give me a bat. Okay.
Martin the Mediator. Right, okay, thanks, Jack Reaper.
Alright, Mr. Right. Bronson.
Yeah, fuck. So,
right, when I
went to uni, there was like 4 other people that I lived with in halls. All of them were 18, so I wasn't kind of like, I missed out on a lot of stuff until I actually hit 18. So we went out, I knew one of the girls upstairs from uni and she lived with 4 other girls, so that was quite handy. So I went with like the 5 girls, fucking went up to the club, never got in before that. I wasn't baby.
So I was banging these 5 girls, right?
Yeah, fucking like drums, just lined them up. fuck's sake!
Right, continue.
Anyway.
Here's a bottle opener.
It's basically my it's basically my outfit. Oh fuck, my thing's full of that fucking
Finish your
shit.
story.
Right, yeah, so basically I rolled up with the 5 girls that lived upstairs and fucking got in. No problem at all. No idea or nothing. The guy must have just been like, this guy's fucking Mac Daddy. Let me in.
I bet he wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, but almost definitely, but still, got in.
Right, Callum, you've got
Good
the glow stick of talking, right?
Okay, well, I've finished talking, so I'm going to pass it to you. I'm going to continue to quiz you more about Halloween.
Alright.
We need more. There must be some positive association.
You know, like, this, I can't think of anything interesting.
Turn it to the camera.
This is Alan.
You can talk about your creation,
This is substituting in for a good friend Alan who couldn't make it tonight.
In the chat.
That's no substitute.
I wait, I say he was meant to be in the chat.
He was here, then he saw us streaming, and then he left.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Are we genuinely having a talk?
Yeah, we should have a talking stick.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea with those fucking idiots.
I'm not doing this. I'm not having the fucking talking stick. Does anyone have the bottle opener?
Guys at home, he's got it.
Callum.
It's brilliant, the old 2 hands. Jack Reaper, sad to see you go, but enjoy yourself.
See you later, mate.
See, we're losing people. We need a talking stick.
We don't need a talking stick. We just need to be more interesting. Callum, be interesting.
Right, why don't we do a choose your own adventure?
I tell you what we could do. I think
You've got the books.
Martin's better at this. And pick something from that and read it. Some good shit.
Do we want to get a number?
This is from a book of ghosts and spirits.
Right, series time.
Yeah.
I know we didn't get a cent from Mr. McPhail, right? I'll give you some options, you guys at home, right? When you tell me.
It's like an A to Z again, so they could choose a letter or something.
Alright, guys, give me a letter from A to Z or Z, depending on your nationality, and I will pick. In fact, no, give me a page number.
I think it's actually a squash.
Between.
A couple of people are commenting on it. I think it's a squash.
Give me a page number between 1 and 210 and I'll read you a bullshit story.
Page number between 1 and 210, guys, and Martin will do your story.
Until then,
there's the talking stick.
Are we honestly doing a talking stick?
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Tell us a positive Halloween tale. We got a lot of depressing ones out here.
No, Halloween was an amazing time for me. I'm just saying that it's kind of bittersweet because I think about it ending, because it was something that.
But that's. I mean,
it's
you still make a big thing.
Special to you when you're a child, and once you reach a certain age, it's kind of like Christmas as well. Christmas is an amazing time. I love Christmas, but there's something special about it when you're really young. You know?
But you,
it's the magic of it.
You still make a thing every year of having people around, right?
Farngoth's giving me 111.
All right.
Do you want to finish your point, or
we actually had welcome Cybernator. We had
some letters
before
but we changed our mind about letters. So
Smoking Battle was actually before. Well, we can do them.
Don't know if you can see this. This is a skull shot glass.
Oh, actually,
nice.
Nan's girl was first with 13. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
13.
One thing I was going to say is, but you make a thing though of every year, like opening your house up to have people in. Is that something you've inherited from your parents?
Yeah, my dad was always like, even when Halloween wasn't a really popular thing, any kids that did go out, guys, and they always came to ours because they knew that my dad would have done the house up as like a haunted house, and there'd always be loads of sweets for everybody and stuff like that. All my friends would be around,
That's nice. Like, we never used to have anyone up because we used to live up in the house, and no one used to come up.
That's pretty interesting.
Just to say, my parents, Cybernator said 420, and then he laughed because 420 is of course synonymous with
he did say
culture.
He did say LMAO, which means we have to do one about aliens.
Do you know the yeah, that's true. Do you know the story behind the 420?
Here we go.
Let's let Martin read his thing.
No, tell the story behind 420 because we've started now.
Very quickly, 420, I believe, was the time.
Very scary, by the way.
Was a reference to the time after a certain class where they would meet up to sell marijuana to each other in America, and that's where 420 comes from. It's like massive in drug culture. Anyway, continuing with the story, I'm going to go and avail myself of a name.
I'm not going to read it with my mouth Pringles.
I just brought. Oh no, I didn't bring it, did I?
No, I just drank it.
Well, okay.
Oh no, here I see. Oh no, that's yours.
Right. Nance girl. Okay. You picked 13. You're getting astral projection. I'm going to read to you about astral projection. Okay, so.
Crossing the stream.
A system of movement of the spirit outside of the body that forms part of some mystical and religious belief systems. Astral projection, sometimes just referred to as projection, by those in the know, might be described as a form of out-of-body experience or a proposed explanation for such experiences. During astral projection, it is said that the astral double, or astral body, leaves the physical host and is taken to the astral plane, a realm of existence just beyond the physical world, from which it is then free to travel anywhere, including the toilet, to watch you poop.
Jesus, I thought we were being serious.
If I had a couple of...
It was like Tales Unexpected.
I've had a couple of comments about the pumpkins. Yes, I carved that one myself. It's kind of Jack Skellington. And I had to do it with a kitchen knife, which was really difficult. I didn't have proper carving pumpkins, but yeah. There was a paltry supply of pumpkins left in Tesco, I'll say that much. I carved it the other day for something we should probably mention, a short that we've got coming out tomorrow. We haven't said fuck all about it.
No. The astral double
Carry on.
is usually defined as being an
He's fucking that book right up.
exact duplicate of the human being, but one that is not usually encountered on the normal plane of existence. While the astral body is said to be a spirit form of our living bodies, although the two terms are often used interchangeably, during projection, the astral double is usually described as remaining connected to the physical body by a silver cord. In some movements, astral double is used to describe the spirit of a deceased person, and this can appear after death. The term astral projection is frequently treated as interchangeable with the term astral travelling, although during astral travelling the astral body has to make its own way back to the physical body. Some spiritualists claim to be able to control their astral bodies, allowing them to roam free in the astral plane under their conscious control. And there is a picture, an actual photograph of some astral projection taking place.
When I was younger, I used to be fascinated by astral projection, and actually I tried it a few times. But do you know why I stopped? It didn't work.
Because you get caught.
The reason that
astral projection.
The reason that I stopped trying it genuinely was because I read a supposed account from someone who had been involved in astral projection, and he said that when he left his body, like that picture shows that you see a sort of tether between you and your real body. But he said that when he was trying to come back to his body, something else was trying to get into it first, and that always really frightened me.
His uncle.
yeah, he's asleep. That always really frightened me. That idea that there was something else, that if you went and did a sort of had an out of body experience, or that something else could get in first.
If it was a story as well, you'd write it so that every time you came back, the cord was thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. They couldn't stop doing it.
Yeah,
there's an idea for you, mate. You have to write that now.
I'll be
checking up you every time. Right, okay, what other numbers do we get? Number 3 from Smork and Babbitt. Number 3, we're back in the A's again.
It's quite good. Some of there's some good kind of real life ghost accounts. I had to do that in inverted commas.
Do we want afterlife, which is quite a broad topic, or do we want aeroplanes, phantom?
Yeah, go for that. That's good.
Phantom airplanes. Phantom airplanes. So we have to go to P because it says C. Phantom airplanes. Phantom funerals. Phantom hitchhikers. Phantom trains. Phantom coaches. Phantasm. Brilliant film. Phantom airplanes.
Did you not have a fight with the producer?
No.
Yes.
It was an executive producer and.
Right. Let's put this out on air. Let's go MTV right now. Martin had a fight.
I don't remember all the detail. It wasn't a fight.
Martin had a fist fight with a woman representing Phantasm,
No,
on the internet.
I'll talk about it later when you've forgotten about it. Okay, phantom airplanes or airplanes if you're American. Aeroplane. We call them aeroplanes. AERO. I don't know why the difference. I think originally they were all airplanes.
I've always called the airplane.
Aeroplanes, but yeah, but that's because you lived in Dubai and you probably have been a bit slightly
For
Americanized.
fucking 9 months.
You have turned your back on your
On Western
movies.
culture.
Why have you turned your back on?
Listen,
Why have you turned your back on your heritage?
listen. Yeah, let me ask my 9 wives. Carry on.
Ask Philip.
I thought you had
what did I say his
5.
name
You
was?
had 5 a minute ago, now you get 9.
I've been upscaling.
It's the hat, I'm telling you.
Yeah, too right.
Sir Philip.
Phantom aeroplanes. The manifestation of ghost aeroplanes, either seen or heard. Why would they, like, if you hear an airplane, you go, oh, I don't see it. You don't immediately think
That's a
fucking
phantom.
ghosts.
That's an airplane somewhere.
Must be behind a cloud or something. No.
But it's really
No,
high.
that ghost has died and gone to hell and come back.
Look at those trails of ectoplasm.
Alright. Reports of phantom airplanes.
Alright, let's get back to serious.
See, just for a second, does he not remind you of the Cornish guy from Time Team?
None of these guys know what you're talking about, shut up.
Sorry. Let's get real cool.
Reports of
They're running the starter show.
Reports of phantom airplanes have been.
It's like we're literally pausing.
Reports of phantom airplanes have emerged sporadically since the 1930s in different parts of the world. In some cases, they have come in waves, as with reports of unidentified ghost planes in the skies over Scandinavia in the 1930s, and have been considered as an aspect of the wider UFO phenomenon. In other reports, the phantom is identifiable as a specific aircraft which is known to have crashed, or a military aircraft dating from World War II. The first British case appears to have been a ghostly biplane as seen by the local residents over Shepperton, Surrey, during 1931. It was believed to be the spectral form of a Vickers Vanguard test aircraft, which had crashed in the area 2 years earlier, killing its pilot. Or, another one passing by. But it was probably the ghost one.
I mean, it is an airfield nearby.
Yeah. Former World War II aerodromes have also produced reports of phantom aeroplanes, including an account of a phantom plane seen landing at Barkston Heath, Lincolnshire, witnessed by a
Did you see Phantom Pain? Where my character's from?
No.
Phantom
plane. Seen landing at Barkston Heath, Lincolnshire, witnessed by a 17-year-old girl in the late 1960s. There are also reports of a phantom bomber plane seen in the 1990s over Bleaklow Hill in Derbyshire. Derbyshire.
Are you okay? You alright?
Reset him, Michael.
In the vicinity of a number of known bomber crash sites. In other cases, the phantom aeroplane may be heard rather than seen. A ghostly Spitfire is said to have been heard over Biggin Hill in Kent. That's Spitfire.
It's definitely a ghostly one. It's definitely a ghostly Spitfire.
And the sound of a World War II phantom plane.
Not only was someone able to go, that sounds like a World War II plane.
That's a Spitfire
And it's a
Mark IV.
and it's a phantom
That's
one.
a ghostly Rolls Royce engine.
It sort of
People
sounds like
with
a
a top
Rolls-Royce
speed of
engine, but
650
more
miles an
woo.
hour in a spin.
The sound of a World War II phantom plane was allegedly captured on tape at the former Bircham Newton Aerodrome in Norfolk in 1972.
Very interesting.
Can we on the
What I want to know is why would a plane have a ghost?
But some people think that
You mean like an inanimate object?
An apparition is actually like some sort of time slip.
Like a stone tape thing?
That's what I spoke about this before. That's what my dad always used to say to me.
People are seeing glimpses of another time, kind of superimposed on ours.
Because that's like how my dad explained ghosts to me. He said, well, he didn't explain it that way, but he said his theory was almost like it was an overlap of time, which I took surprisingly well at a small age and didn't just go, but one thing I'd like to always talk about is, do you guys have any particular theories on the Bermuda Triangle? Because it's something that's big in pop culture. Haven't heard anything about it for a while.
If you do a statistical analysis of like
you're no more likely to disappear there than anywhere else.
All of this,
Sorry,
but
Mike.
however,
are you more likely to be savaged by a cow?
However, there are also other theories that there's a lot of
sea monsters,
methane in the area, and that large methane bubbles theoretically could take out not just a boat, because we talked about this before, that it was quite a frightening idea that as a methane bubble comes up from the bottom of the sea, that if it's underneath a ship, even a large ship, the ship just completely loses buoyancy, it just sinks right away. So that's been documented, that has happened. So some people have said that could be a reason for it, and also that methane, I don't know the exact in and outs of it, but the methane being released into the atmosphere could affect planes as well.
A couple of good comments. Cybernator says that an engine does have an ethereal sound to it, which is a fair point.
No. What he's saying is that engine sound has an ethereal sound.
But think about for example the Stuka dive bomber.
Let's interpret.
But the Stuka dive bomber was intentionally made to sound like a scream from a psychological point of view. Like you cannot. And
I've never heard that before, but it's interesting.
Did you never know that it's actually got a way that it channeled air?
I told him this after he told him that ghosts are a time slip.
And when you hear them scream, that's them in perpetual pain. Good night, Callum.
Funnily enough, my dad gave me a Stuka dive bomber. This is one of the things this is one of the things I feel the worst about. Like, my dad was really careful as a kid, looked after all his toys. He gave me all these fantastic vintage toys. Fuck them all. I fucking rate them all.
See, I regret that as well.
Just the way I am. You know what I mean? And you feel bad about it now.
Yeah, my dad always tells the same story about whenever I mention the fact that my musical education was the old records that he had, that he'd collected, and I just listened to them to death when I was a kid, but I also broke his old record player, and he always mentions it. He's always like,
are we talking like
the record player
or 78s?
Long
this is really scary, guys.
Well, but I'm just.
Well, maybe if it was your dad. Well, if it was your dad, it's still probably 33s.
It was
you had like 45s were like smaller ones, and then you had 33s. So you had 78s were pre-35s.
78s, right? Sorry, man. Sorry. I just you did that.
Your hair started burning.
Yeah, I think actually. But I think the idea of like a sort of phantom. That more than living things can have some sort of impression or leave something behind. I think that's quite frightening as well, because
maybe everything has consciousness.
Good point.
Well, that's pan.
Good point from Nance Girl though, saying that ghosts' clothes are inanimate objects.
You don't see their cocks,
but they come back. But also, Elizabeth Vinton said stone tape theory.
That's what I just said.
What's that one?
Well, it's the idea that stone has memory that like can be played back like a tape.
Have you seen?
You mean the way that like trees have rings?
I believe it was T.C. Lethbridge,
like a tape recorder recording something.
That under certain conditions it would play back emotional feedback and things that it had experienced before. So like a house,
like was that 78 or 33 or?
Yeah, that's right. The belief that the stones in the walls had some ability to, just by their physical properties somehow record emotion, so that if a house had gone through a lot of, it's basically an attempt to explain why people believe that if a place has had a murder in it, or like someone's been tortured,
some physical foundations,
that the stone somehow not consciously remember, but there's something about the stone that, like a magnetic tape, can
my mum and dad's house is actually made of stone.
Have you seen the
fucking proof?
Let's go and fucking
you
cut some of
are
that
stone
out.
Tape. Have you seen
you're a stone tape?
Have you seen the Nigel Neal TV one-off that was called?
No, but I've seen that there is one.
There's someone called Nigel Neal.
It was the idea. It was people. Yeah, he was a very famous writer.
He wrote Halloween 3, and also
don't hold that against him.
Quatermass.
Yeah. Alright, okay.
And when John Carpenter made Prince of Darkness, he called himself Martin Quatermass as the writer of it. But he actually got Nigel Neal in to write Halloween 3, but anyway, it's a bit boring. But I think the stone tape theory is quite interesting, but definitely the idea of hearing a plane that's not there, it is a sort of the idea of that being a phantom is quite a sort of eerie idea. However, like you say, if you hear some plane and you can't see it, usually there's just low cloud cover.
It was a blue sky and I couldn't find. But like, you know, how often do you go, look at that plane and then someone goes, no, I can't see it because it's a tiny
ghost.
It's a tiny object, and you know, so if you hear a noise and you can't see it, doesn't mean that there's.
But where's the origin of the stone tape theory?
I think T.C. Lethbridge was one of the guys that really pushed it. He was an archaeologist, I believe, who had this belief that like stones, especially like standing stones, he believed were built as a sort of way to
so like kind of like Stonehenge.
It's pseudoscience really, but it's interesting. It's interesting.
But I think it technically could be correct
because we all know that Stonehenge came before the dawn of history.
That kind of thing, you know.
Sorry,
Stonehenge came before the dawn of history.
Well, what you mean?
The little children of Stonehenge used to dance around it. Spinal Tap, everyone, check it out.
Good night, everyone.
Nan's girl saying that wood is also regarded in a fairly similar vein.
Well, we use carbon to store information. So.
Well, that's true. And wood is an organic property, and you can count the rounds if you've got the time.
So what we do next, chaps? We've read something from.
Well, some more numbers still here.
Numbers.
So we've got 420, but I don't know if it goes up.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, yeah, that's true. Blaze it.
You have to read 420 if it's there.
I don't think it's there.
And don't you just love Martin's narration, boys?
We've got Felt Far and Golf.
Fantastic, isn't it?
He's here all night, everyone.
111. Let's try 111. What's it? 111. 111.
111. 118. 118.
Lamb in. I don't even know what that is, and I'm bored. No,
what
I'm kidding. Lamb in actually sounds pretty.
Really sell it, Martin.
I know.
I'm bringing everyone's expectations down so they're all blown away by the amazing narration that's about to come.
The dog was dead.
Make it good. Don't want to have it again.
I'm armed, mate.
No more spraying.
Right, I had to get you once so that it's all fine. You're fine. Oh, okay.
Right, that's it. Vengeance on everyone. I got vengeance for you, Callum.
Did that go in your eye?
Did a bit, yeah, almost exclusively.
Here, wash it out with beer.
You're fine.
I'll be back momentarily.
It specifically says spray into
the eyes.
Have you got that kitchen paper? Can I get some of it?
Actually says it's fine.
Oh fuck! It's fine.
You see that Callum is approaching it there. He's got no depth perception. He's like that.
Hi, it's fine. It's fine.
I fucking need to turn that into.
So what is it? 111.
Yeah, 111. Let me just go down more comments.
I got it my as well, mate. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm better than Nate Nair. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never listened to him. Is he good?
Yeah, he's not bad. He's done. He recently just did On a Hill, but yeah, I genuinely think Martin's one of the best. Yeah. You definitely.
He's not just gyrate.
He just likes watching.
Gyrate.
He just likes watching me squirm.
Sorry, mate. I didn't really get you right now. Sorry.
Lamb in. Okay. Where's the stick?
Lamb in, as in INN.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I can't do it.
No, don't do it like that. No, and I'm not touching that again either. So just no.
Okay. Lamb in. The location of an 18th century case of a biting poltergeist in Bristol. That's slightly alliterative. I quite like that. Biting poltergeist in Bristol. The alleged poltergeist activity at the Lamb Inn, Lawford's Gate, Bristol, started in November 1761 and lasted until December 1762, making it contemporaneous with the Cock Lane Ghost.
Oh, Jesus, not the Cock Lane Ghost!
That's right up my lane.
Afflicting a family named Giles, the phenomenon was said to focus particularly on two young sisters, 13-year-old Molly
Buffy
and
Summer.
8-year-old Dobby.
No way.
Is this Harry Potter?
No. It's Peep Show.
Dobby. Oh, hi.
The first incidents involved strange scratching and rapping sounds from the girls' bedrooms.
Jesus.
Followed by the mysterious movement of various objects, particularly candles and cucumbers. Many of the events described were what came to be thought of as routine poltergeist disturbances, but a remarkable feature was a series of assaults upon the two girls. Both Molly and Dobby were said to suffer severely from pinches and bites from an unseen assailant. More seriously, pins were thrust into the girls by some undetected agency, and they were repeatedly cut.
I'll show you such pleasure.
On one occasion, Molly received more than 40 cuts described as all about 2.5 inches long and about the thickness of a shilling deep, the skin not jagged but smooth as if cut with a penknife.
The girls were known for solving puzzle boxes and they had the lament configuration turned up at the time. Doug Jones turned up and fucking pen. I just teetered off I lost the list.
Events were investigated by Mr. Henry Durbin, who later wrote a pamphlet on the case, which was posthumously published in 1800. Durbin and other investigators made efforts to observe the phenomena under conditions that excluded fraud. On 30th of January 1761, he witnessed a bite mark appear on Dobby's shoulder. I saw Dobby wiping her hands in a towel. While I was talking to her, she cried out and was bitten in the neck. I looked and saw the mark of teeth, about 18 and wet with spittle. As with the Cock Lane ghost and the later Enfield poltergeist, the poltergeist appeared to show signs of intelligence and was said to engage in communication with the family and investigators.
You're all dicks!
By means of scratching noises. The messages declared that the disturbances were the work of a
builder.
witch. Eventually the family resorted to sympathetic magic, and after they followed the advice of a cunning woman, the disappearances ceased. It does say cunning woman in inverted commas there. Although nearly 250 years old, I think in those days cunning woman was a kind of acceptable term for someone, a woman who knew magic, like witch. Basically, wasn't a witchy witch, you know.
Are you a witchy witch?
Or are you just a cunning woman?
Okay.
The lamp, although nearly 250 years old, the Lamp Inn case is considered by many modern researchers to be evidential because of the details set down in the account by Durbin and the resemblance to other cases involving biting poltergeists, both historic and modern.
Quite interesting.
Okay,
I wonder if that's where much of the sort of mythos around poltergeist come from, because that's a very early case. You know, the idea that bite marks appear as people are looking at them, and the knocks and scratches.
The sort of poltergeist cases often centre around young people, usually girls, not always, sometimes boys, but usually teenage girls. And there's the kind of the supernatural explanation is that they're at an age where there's a, rather than it being a ghost, although they thought it was ghosts in those days, that the kind of more modern supernatural explanation would be that they're reaching a point in their adolescence where there's so many hormones and stuff coursing through them that untapped psychic resources are being activated in their brain that maybe are no longer like reachable by most of us. Maybe we've evolved not to have them anymore, but because all the changes in hormones and shit, they're just accidentally being reactivated in some people. But then of course the other explanation possibly would be that they're at an age when
they're getting fucking hickeys.
Getting hickeys. Funny explanations for it. They've maybe got attention-seeking tendencies. And maybe doing things like self-harm, and it's one explanation that covers a lot. Well, you know, I'm not joking, but you know that's a possibility. Yep. I'm not saying all have one explanation.
No, you're not saying that all uncles are bad.
Michael's an uncle.
I know that's definitely interesting because it's such an early.
It's definitely interesting you're an uncle, Michael. I'm just going to move my seat over here.
Yeah, that's right. I am an uncle. I forget that.
Yeah, I'm good.
So, Callum, what else have you got in store
Michael
for us?
was like that when he found out he was going to be. I was like, I don't want to be a pedo, please.
Oh, that's horrible. Callum, what else have you got in store for us?
I was kind of. Well, you've got all the books.
Did we not have some video?
A few videos. Have you got the videos there, Callum? And can you hook us up? What have we got again? Oh yeah.
What was the one that didn't have any sound?
Oh yeah, the one you've got to kill the sound to.
It was the alien one.
Not the UFO one, and not the audio clip one. The other one.
There's practically nothing on the screen. So which one was that? Fresh No Alien or?
Yeah. So this, apparently, let's look up the case, right? Because I'm not actually that familiar with it. You guys
back up to Unlucky 13. Yeah, I've always found poltergeists quite a terrifying prospect, just because unlike some other types of haunting or accounts of haunting, they don't show their face. You know, there's no apparition usually associated with it. It is literally a noisy ghost. It's something that is unseen.
There are various kind of like beliefs about like bogles and all.
Right,
that
I'm playing the video now.
Right, okay, so this I don't play it yet. Hang fire just now. Right, so
Stopping the video.
This case, right? Apparently, let me just see the details.
So the fractional alien, aka the
also known as the Nightcrawler, is, according to Cryptids with a Z.wikia.com, is a cryptid that has so far made 2 appearances, one in Fresno, California, and the other in Yosemite National Park. In both cases, it was only seen in video footage. It appears to be a relatively short creature, about 4 feet in height, is extremely thin. Is an extremely thin white humanoid with no discernible arms. It also appears to be wearing a white gown or cloak of some sort. It says here it is thought to be a grey. I don't know by whom or what. It doesn't look anything like a grey alien. If you want to play the video, can we see it? Or I suppose I'm watching the stream here, but I'm not going to see it live. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So this is just this is off a YouTube video, and they've got some shite before it. But basically, this
playing
is
now?
not shite. Thank you very much, original YouTuber, for sharing your footage with us.
Can you move that tablet or just for a second?
Can you not see? Okay.
No.
So I think this thing's pretty weird looking. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, I know. Can you see it yet? Can you see it yet?
Is that it in the corner?
No, watch. You see it. Watch, here it comes.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Which is basically just a fucking puppet.
Yeah, it looks like 2 very long legs.
But the thing is, I actually think it could be a puppet. But
Yeah,
it's going to be
definitely a puppet.
some fucking length of cable that's holding up because there's a lot of headroom. over the top of
Helicopter,
it.
mate.
But then in that sort of that's the issue as well. Whenever you see these things,
You don't know what's
is
just
that
out of shot.
It's always blurry or old. I mean, they used to be able to get away with it. If you look at, especially in the early 90s, when people started really getting their hands on being able to edit video footage properly at home,
People are saying that there's an emboss effect and inverse to raise the details of the figure. Please note that if there was a string holding up, it would show up. But can I say that as a young video specialist, that the resolution and the quality is so low of that video that even with enhancement, I very much doubt
No,
that
you just keep shouting enhance.
Go
And
like
it
that,
gets
mate.
clearer and
Just a wee bit
clearer.
yeah,
other side.
a wee bit of stuff that you shot in my eye.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
for your
I think
chest,
that's
it's not done
bullshit.
very
That's
well.
almost definitely a puppet, and I think that they saying that the video enhancements have said that there's no string is just fucking bullshit.
Man, the strings are going to be so thin.
I've actually,
The strings are going to be smaller than 1 pixel.
It's more the way it's moving that looks like a puppet. You
Yeah.
know,
but I
You know
will.
why I think it looks like a puppet is the rate at which its legs are moving is faster than it's actually moving across the ground.
that's a very good
Is there
point.
more
It's
to
not, it's
show?
not propelling itself
Yeah,
along.
it doesn't look.
Is there more to show, or can we stop?
I don't know. Not watch the whole thing. Could be.
I think it's pretty much just. Now, can I actually say that I worked doing quite a few promotional, thank you very much, videos for magicians, and we did various things with invisible wire.
That looks exactly like that.
Invisible wire. And there's a number of tricks that we had to do again because they were in HD, because you used an invisible line in order to do it. Sorry to give away some of your tricks, but
Drunk Thunderbird. Nah.
it was stuff that would have
Run along
originally
its
worked.
wings.
And funnily enough, with new things now where there's actually a higher level of clarity in footage, they have to be more careful about how they do certain things, because certain things don't translate so well. And then obviously if you're doing a live show, for example, and the audience is a certain distance from you as well, you'll get away with it too. You
just watching
can't be
this
quite
stream,
so
by the way,
forgiving.
not to interrupt, but we're all fucking just stuffing our faces and it's disgusting. Sorry guys. I just...
It's not disgusting. It's like you're here with us having a wee
Elizabeth
party.
Elizabeth Vinton says it's a drunk Thunderbird, and that pretty much does look like what it is. Debunk
your face.
next.
No, what's going on?
No.
It looks so. It said though that it appeared twice. No.
Yeah. But yeah, another video's gonna be more convincing, yeah.
Well, is there any other video of it?
Let's see when we can find it. Like, where did it say it appeared also in
fucking Jim Henson's workshop.
Yosemite, right? Okay. Nightcrawler Yosemite.
Climbing the fucking.
Right, but while you're doing that,
Should we fire?
Okay, Callum, if you look this up, strange alien stick-like creatures, Nightcrawler. That seems to be the video.
See, before we do, shall I put on Fantastic Party soundtrack?
I think it might be copyrighted, is it not?
No, it's not. It was sold in Poundland, so it can't be.
I think it probably is, mate. I would maybe not.
what? Whoa!
It's all just like hoots and like babies crying. Okay, guys, we're going to put on Fantastic Party soundtrack in the background. Hopefully, you can all enjoy it.
All right.
Talk about Greys in the meantime.
What are you putting on?
Over here.
No, it does. If you look at the sort of early to mid 90s, that's when you get most of the really strange video footage that came out. I mean, you still get some stuff that comes out now, but there was
higher definition things come out. You start seeing what's up with. Sorry, go on.
Well, that's exactly the point I was making. Is that now, and even when you've got HD, when you do see something now, it's always like, oh, it's the person's like zooming in and out. It's like a crash zoom, and they can't quite focus on it. And it's like, no, these cameras, man, are just like point and shoot now, and you get everything perfectly in focus if you want it to.
The thing is, can you turn it down a wee bit?
It's Halloween party, come on.
So, the thing that always gets me about, like, especially UFO footage, and this actually is relevant to the next video, is that UFO footage always shows little circular blobs. Why does it always show little circular blobs? Well, to me the answer seems to be that, well, when a point of light is out of focus, it shows as a circular blob. And how does it
Plane,
on a plain blue sky?
Yeah.
So if you put on the next video, the one that's
very quickly though, Alan, very good point, makes a sentence. He says, "Is it just an outtake from the film Nightcrawler and Jake Gyllenhaal walks in a very strange way when no one's watching?"
behind the scenes footage.
Is that Alan? Did you say?
Yes.
Was he here? Was he with us? Hello, Alan.
Welcome back, Alan. Has everyone had enough of party soundtrack?
Yeah.
I quite like it though. Like it's a lot better than like put it off. But I mean, it's kind of better than I thought it was going to be.
I'm gonna go get some rum. Do you want to hold this on your own?
Yep, on you go, guys. It's just me now. It's all about me, the dull one, as our friend said earlier on. Has he not come back? He's not come back to.
Well, we had Troll and then we had Fedora Tipster, which I imagine are probably the same guy.
Probably
Maybe not. Let's be hopeful.
Probably wanted to have a bit of fun with us.
Tipster was possibly a homage to your head waves, not?
No, I think it was actually homage to people that wear fedoras. Because he had the actual picture of the fat guy
with the fedora.
Fat guy with the fedora. Oh wait, maybe it was me.
It's a shame now that fedoras and other hats like that have been completely demonised now.
Yeah. You say shame.
I was just.
You say shame. I say good thing.
I would.
There's actually footage of Michael. There's footage of Michael on his holiday wearing a hat.
Yeah.
That's suspiciously
just coming back
lady.
Well, guys, what's going on?
Can I just say that?
I've got guys. 2 seconds. I've got Guy Simmons UFOs in the next video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Borak Marasai. I hope he's doing that.
Okay, let me just.
We need sound on this though.
We need sound, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the sound is going to be quite far away, but people can find it, you know.
Maybe need to skip about 30 seconds into it as well.
30 seconds, okay.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Trisha Keene.
And I'm Steve Wolford. Well, let's take another trip back into the realm of paranormal tonight. Last night we had ghost hunters, now UFOs.
That's right, and there is a Las Vegas guy making an extraordinary
Let's
claim
not.
about extraterrestrials. So, we sent
Did she just say astro-terrestrials?
Yeah, that's what she's really thinking.
Just listen up here. This guy says the Old Testament written in Hebrew taught him how to summon UFOs.
So, apparently, we've got a guy saying that the Old Testament told him how to summon UFOs. Skeptical at this point.
I'm quietly confident that this man is.
Watch.
We met up with Prophet Yahweh, seer of Yahweh, at Doolittle Park off
and then we gave him 1 week to prepare.
Until he says he saw UFOs. Over the years, 1,500 of them.
Welcome, Snapperoo.
Hello, Snapperoo.
What's going on in the stream? Not even we know.
His head told him to go public now, so we took him up on his offer, and we scanned the
Yep.
skies. Nothing but a few clouds. When the prophet started praying for a sighting,
So they said,
Watch.
I pray, O Yahweh, that you send a sighting, so that they know that I am not mentally ill. I am not a false prophet. Like those who seek to kill me say I am. I need something straight up. Oh, brother, look at there it is.
Holy shit!
Then
pretty fucking skeptical on that one.
photojournalist Jonathan Hawkins locks in on it.
No, it's real, 100%.
Look, there is a circular blob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
While they turned away, the guy fucking threw a little paper punch right onto the lens.
Just let off a Chinese lantern.
The guy's actually phoning his producer to tell him it's real.
It kind of tells you that they'll fucking print anything, doesn't it? Like,
Things might be. Guess what? They didn't call us back. But this thing started coming back toward us.
there's not just a delay in this stream. Unfortunately, on YouTube, there's like a 30-second delay, no matter what. Sorry, man.
Oh, man! Oh, hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Later, it disappeared. It's going back up in space. Prophet Yahweh isn't concerned.
He's jamming. He didn't think anything was going to show.
I know,
And
I mean,
then
some
something's
dead,
appeared,
so
and he's just like,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
File
Well,
that one under inherently skeptical.
I'm convinced.
14.
That's how it is.
Alright.
I have to admit, I'm 100% convinced that guy's for real.
I'm 150%.
Jolly Boy John for real.
I'll raise you 100%. By a whole 50%, man.
If you go past 100%,
No.
if you go past 100%,
No,
you're into the
no,
realms of
no,
sarcastic,
no.
mate. 101% off.
Snapperoo says he came across some creepy pasta. What video was it you were watching? Was it Phantom Process? I think that's the most recent one of creepy pasta, isn't it?
Certainly is. Unless I know the No Sleep podcast retweeted us. I don't know.
Stick it back up. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream, Snapperoo.
And Snapperoo, check out this mask. Check out this sweet mask and this sweet.
It's pretty rocking and
kinda
sweet
Dracula.
price tag.
And
75p
actually,
cape.
well, I did have a trident as well. Martin took it off me.
That was a pretty cool short film with the ghosts. I'm almost 100% convinced that's probably the Phantom Process. Yeah,
You'll remember me then.
we tend to find that our shorts on the Ghastly Tales are fairly
No.
serious.
No,
They're not
that
fairly
trident.
serious, but we tend to do like horror shorts, and we do our kind of we start doing little mini documentaries and stuff like that. But the live streams are always more about having a bit of a laugh, but keeping it horror themed.
I want my trident.
In case you're wondering why they're both dressed that way, they both did a competition at the start, and they were randomly given stuff, and they both created characters but off of what they were given. Martin's got quite a creepy giraffe mask. I don't know where that's gone.
I don't know either, actually.
And I've got Skeletor.
Where is the giraffe mask gone?
What's OSRS?
Google is your friend, my friend.
Yeah, no, I feel like googling it, but we've got a real life gentleman in the chat that seems to be familiar with it.
I don't know. And I have these bloody hands. What else have you prepared for us, Cam? Have you prepared anything else? Was out?
Well, I'm relatively spent. I thought you brought Choose Your Own Adventure.
No, we're done. We're done, Cam. That's it. We're finished. No. Yeah, we've got.
I only organised all of fucking this.
We've got some Choose Your Own Adventure.
And a bunch of the other books that we haven't even fucking dabbled into.
Yeah, we've also got Dictionary of Omens and Superstitions, which we already did a couple from. Will we do another one of them? Give me.
We'll do one from each book, eh? Give us 3 numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
Martin needs to be shot in the face with the silly string again.
No.
Like that last time.
That's the first time I've seen Martin actually annoyed at me. So no. Right. Give us a letter.
Thank you very much, Cybernator. He says that they talk. He's just silly stringed himself. Anything could happen. Stonehenge is real.
Stonehenge is real.
That was the
We'll
joke.
do it for our fans, guys.
That was the joke.
Fans.
Yeah, apparently
Viewers.
Cybernator says that the Sonny Bean mini documentary was top notch. Well,
Yeah,
you've mostly got Martin's research.
And you're
Welcome
skilled
to the Airship
filmmaking.
Coast.
I just capture the truth, guys.
I just hoovered up the subs. That's all I did, baby. Right, so we need a letter from the alphabet, please. So A to Z or Z, as Martin said, depending where you come from. So give us a letter and we'll read out one of the superstitions from this.
Yeah, we've got T first from Smork and Babbitt.
Thanks very much.
One thing I would say, Snapperoo, the problem with Phantom
It was
Protest is that we only had the location for a day. Martin's actually got a dark room at his work and we went down and shot it. The problem is we kind of had a slightly extended ending to it where it wasn't going to kind of be a jump scare, it would be more of a creep scare. But unfortunately we kind of had to vacate the premises, so we had to dial it down to jump scare. Would you agree, Martin?
Who are you responding to?
His
Snapperoo?
mind.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so T from the Dictionary of Omens and Superstitions. Let's try telephone. The strange sensation you get when you know that the telephone is going to ring before it actually does. So, it's perhaps what has prompted the superstition, now quite widespread, that it is an ill omen if the phone rings intermittently and no one is there when it is answered.
Can I say, do any of you guys ever wake up before? I mean, I know this is like body clock conditioning, but how many of you guys wake up before your alarm?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Every day.
It's like 5 minutes.
Do you guys
before
have
it,
alarms? I thought you just
No, I've got an
got
alarm.
up at
for
3
that.
o'clock in the afternoon and sat around scratching
When
your
you're this
balls all day.
close to not paying your bills,
In my imagination, you guys just sit around scratching your balls all day. That's what
Mate,
freelancers
I'm a
do.
fucking captain of industry.
Listen, I've had days like that, I'm not going to lie,
I've had many days like that, but
but unfortunately then I chose to...
all you need to do,
manage
Martin,
it.
is charge a vastly massive rate.
Right,
So you only work 3 days a year.
Callum, were there any other letters?
So what you did T there, right?
Yeah.
Next one was S from Big Andy.
S, right.
Thank you very much, by the way, Andy. Andy has donated a 4G dongle, and Andy's actually a friend of mine. He's not just an internet person. Not that any of you guys are
Guys,
any
I'm getting
lesser.
chatted up here.
But Andy donated a 4G dongle for us, so we're actually going to be able to, and we've been talking about doing it for a long time, but we're actually going to do some mobile live streams. So
If
we're
we're
talking about the
graveyards,
idea of
or-
potentially going to a graveyard or
We
something
might
like
have
that,
access to a private pet cemetery, which
Yeah,
kind of, you know...
which
so.
would be ace.
But anyway, okay, so S for suicide.
Hey! Nice cheerful topic
Yeah.
there, guys.
There is a belief, still amazingly widespread, that the spirit of anyone who has committed suicide must haunt the place where he took his life. Almost completely discredited, though, are the European superstitions that the body of a suicide cannot sink, and that if a pregnant woman walks over a suicide's grave, she will have a miscarriage. I've never heard that before, but
That's a very
precise.
dark one.
Yeah,
But
there are loads of-
where do you think it comes from that suicide became like a sin, like to take your own life, but it was somehow okay
I
for
think
someone
it's,
else?
Well, it's almost a logical conclusion, because you could make the argument that you're just here once, and that it's a sin.
Unless you're a Buddhist.
You know, but if you believe that, if you believe in God and the Holy Spirit, then you're kind of murdering the
You're
Holy
fucked.
Spirit, aren't you?
Well, I think, yeah. The point of view is that it's taking a life, and whether it's your life or someone else's, you're still taking a life that doesn't necessarily. I mean, I guess you, in some ways, you can understand it why people would have a strong reaction to someone killing themselves. Think about, if hopefully no one here has had any close family members commit suicide. I don't know, but I mean, it's something
I'm aware of.
people are like. If someone in your close family killed themselves, you'd be really upset, and people go through these periods of grief where they feel like they blame the person and all these kinds of things. They feel that, nowadays we see our lives as belonging just to us, but in previous times and to some extent almost logically, our lives. I don't actually necessarily think our life does just belong to us. And I don't mean that in any religious sense, and I think certain people in previous I think certainly people in previous times would have thought that life didn't necessarily belong to the person, because everyone that you connect with in life, all your family, friends, everyone like that, they all have almost, if you like, an investment in you.
Yeah.
They're an emotional investment in you, and
Well,
not obviously people who commit suicide are not doing so to hurt their friends or family, and they should not be judged for doing it. But you can see the point of view that if someone commits suicide, you're not just taking your own life. It's not just, in a sense, your own life to take. You're also taking happiness. You're taking joy. You're taking something from all the people that you love and care about around you.
Without getting too melancholy.
So you can understand why. You can understand that aspect.
Without getting too melancholy. Someone very close to me did commit suicide, and it leaves, like, the wake that it leaves is but most people who commit suicide genuinely believe that their loved ones will be better off, so that's why you can't really be angry. Can I try another S?
Sure.
We've got Shadow here.
We've actually got an S from Andy, so that
that was one we just did, was it not?
Did we do a T? We've got Smark and Babbitts.
We did T.
T, right, S, then next one was M.
Right, well we'll do Shadow and then we'll do
Cybernator's got a pretty good one though. X for the new series of X-Files.
Yeah.
Gillian Anderson, good to see you back on the screen. Absolutely love your work.
Gillian's in the stream?
No, Gillian Anderson. If Gillian Anderson was on the screen, fuck it.
Okay, S for Shadow. The idea that a shadow is somehow a part of a person has persisted in many places, and in most of these it is considered unlucky to walk on one, particularly to the owner of the shadow. In certain mountainous regions, it is said to be a death omen if stones or pebbles fall on a person's shadow, while in parts of Europe where the shadow is seen as a manifestation of the owner's soul, to step on one is one of the worst insults that can be offered. In Wales, if anyone sitting around the fireplace on Christmas Day casts a shadow with no head, it is said they will die during the coming year.
Wales is shite though, isn't it? Like, you'd probably be better
was
off
that on M?
Wales not quite nice.
Did you say
Wales?
M?
I know.
Nan's girl said N.
Let's be honest, there's a lot of shit things about Scotland, but I'm glad I live here rather than Wales.
Wales is like a mini Scotland, is it not?
I know. They've got, well, to be fair, they've got a stupid dead language, so yeah, I suppose that is.
Stupid dead language. They've got a well-populated, slightly run-down lower portion, and a mountainous upper portion.
I suppose you're right. Gaelic can fuck off.
Well, let's try Nightmare. Although nightmares scarcely fall within the scope of this book, there is an interesting old superstition related by country people that you can avoid having nightmares by hanging your socks or stockings over the end of the bed.
You can't say that in a threatening voice, mate.
By
hanging your socks.
Yes, I can. By hanging your socks or stockings, your socks or your stockings over the end of the bed with a pin stuck through them. Yorkshire folk say putting them on a coal rake will do just as well. The nightmare was originally believed to be a huge spirit which settled on people while they slept and gave them a feeling of being stifled.
Well, that's the night terror, isn't it?
And in Europe, an old preventative for this was to place a knife or something similar at the end of the bed, as it was well known that the denizens of darkness feared iron and steel.
That's in that iron is the devil's enemy is in Quatermass in the Pit, isn't it?
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen it.
That's how they end it. You know, when the big demon thing appears over the side, they turn a huge. They remember that iron is the devil's enemy, and it's an electrical projection, and they turn a crane.
Some of the superstitions in that book, though, I mean, I've had that book for decades, but it's quite interesting.
We actually have a defence of Wales from Cybernator. I apologise for that.
I've never been to Wales, but I hear it's quite nice.
Can I very quickly say that the party mix CD that we put on, like, almost momentarily, actually comes in like a fucking CD that you would buy.
A burned CD.
Like a CDR type case. Like,
you're getting it for £1, Callum.
Alright, fuck.
Although there are like CD collections you can get for £1 and it's a proper case. So
don't get me wrong, Poundland's the shit. All of this, with the exception
all of this £4
and these and the. Oh, we're on to 59. We're very close to Halloween.
Oh,
in
Halloween,
the GMT time zone.
2015.
Wait, is this some traditional Halloween song I don't know about?
Yeah, this is Halloween. This is Halloween. Sorry.
Do you always find it funny that Nightmare Before Christmas actually doesn't have fuck all to do with Halloween, but it's become... Do you know, like, Poundland actually had a shitload of Nightmare Before Christmas?
Every 1st of November...
Guys, 10 seconds to go into... Well, nearly...
Every 1st of November, me and my wife watch...
10, 9, 8,
fucking
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Happy
Halloween,
Halloween!
guys! Happy Halloween!
Ah!
Justice!
Actually,
I'm sorry. You alright?
I can't really say anything
Yeah,
after
I
I
know.
nearly blinded both of you. Right, with my fingers. Well, happy Halloween, everyone. Hope it's a really good one for all of you. And whatever you're doing, whether you're staying at home or going out, I hope you have a good spooky time.
That's
and
right.
if you are just staying in, sit, open a beer or bottle of wine and watch a good scary film.
And very much enjoy yourself.
Especially
if you're
Revenge of the
underage.
Pumpkin, is it?
Yeah.
Which is being released tomorrow, I believe.
Today,
Who's releasing that?
Today.
Ghastly
It is
Tales.
being released.
So we have actually made a Halloween film. It's going to be out later on today, and we hope you all enjoy it very much. It was good fun making it. It was a bit of a rush in the end to try and get it done for Halloween, but we've got there in the end, and we're looking forward to seeing what you all think about it.
Sure are.
Yep. Okay. So what we doing next, chaps? What? You're just burning shit now. That's
shit,
what it
that's
is.
I thought you were signing off there, but let's.
Oh, no way!
Oh shit!
No way!
If you.
It's actually.
It's leaked slightly on my hand. Look,
It's also
I don't know if the
leaked
guys at home can see that. But you kind of got to keep it in shadow. Switch that out.
Oh,
right.
well, I don't know if we'll actually see it, but I see it leaking on the table. I'm going to go to the toilet, guys, and amuse yourselves.
No, switch the light out just a second.
Right, okay. But I don't think you'll see it.
Right.
No,
it's not your hand, but.
you can see it very slightly, but.
Yeah, they won't see.
Sorry, okay, right, no, this is a bad idea. It's a very bad
She'll be back
idea.
momentarily.
No problem. What's the first horror film you can ever remember watching? You've got like a memory of it?
Does Ghostbusters count?
Yeah, definitely.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a vague memory of watching Slimer get blasted in that little opening scene, and not the opening scene, but you know that first big Ghostbusters. But I think at the time I didn't really realise it was Ghostbusters because I was not long after that I was totally into the Ghostbusters cartoon show, the real Ghostbusters, not that shitty Filmation Ghostbusters they came out with. I remember going home. I think it was a Thursday afternoon after school, racing home to see Ghostbusters in Primary 1. But yeah, sorry, so probably Ghostbusters, if that counts as a horror film.
I think it does.
Like the first kind of hardcore scary horror film, like really like nasty gory kind of horror film I saw was Evil Dead, and that was sort of sneakily watched at a friend's house.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually at a friend's granddad's house because his granddad lived sort of below. It was like a up and down house, and the granddad and grandma lived below, and my friend and his family lived at the top. We went into his granddad's, and his granddad wasn't about. I'm like, what's this? Evil Dead. Let's put it on and watched it. It was pretty awesome.
So his granddad was watching Evil Dead?
Yeah, granddad was like in his 70s. I don't know why he was watching Evil Dead, but it was cut to shit because
It's just like the war.
it was it was like the kind of edited down version that they currently had at that
So
time.
did you not get the old pencil in the ankle? That's the bit
you
that
saw it. You
gets
saw
me.
it going in, but you didn't see it snapping off.
Oh.
But there was a lot. I mean, there's
That
a lot.
still makes
To
you
me,
cringe.
it was a lot like it was still quite gory, but.
I think the first horror film I can remember
Crossing
watching.
the stream.
The first horror film that I can remember.
Nance girls encouraged me to go and drink some rum, so
You
I'm going to go and...
Can I join you?
Right, fuck you both. I'm trying to tell a story.
Get the
here,
outside,
everyone.
man. Let's get fucking involved.
I'm
Can-
going to wash this fucking radioactive shot.
Do you know what? There was a part of me that.
some in my eye,
There was a part of me that
Can you
thought.
get me my beer out, Martin, please?
See these shot glasses? There was a part of me thinking that we made some kind of game involving Dalsong rice wine, but we've all learned that fucking
Oh no,
lesson,
we
haven't
did that
we?
once. We were drinking shots of rice wine and it was fucking torrid. Horrible.
If you could just bring that back around to horror again, that'd be great, guys.
Yeah, no, we were talking about the first horror film that you can remember watching, and for me, I have two really early memories, and I'm not sure which one was first. One of them is the BBC version of Whistle and I'll Come to You, starring Michael Hordern. It was made
Which
in
please take back tonight.
Yes, it was made in 1968. It's a really frightening TV adaptation of an M.R. James short story, one of his best, about a professor who goes on holiday to the coast in England, and he finds this graveside, and sticking out of the graveside is the wooden whistle, which he takes back to his hotel room. He cleans it off, he blows the whistle, and then he notices that there's an inscription on it which says it says something like "Whistle and I will come," basically. So, which sounds dodgy. I know it sounds dodgy now. The full title of the short story sounds even more dodgy by modern standards because it's it's "Oh Whistle and I Will Come, My Lad." That's the full name. But anyway, so I remember watching that. And I remember going to bed and being absolutely terrified.
The novel's called "Whistle and I'll Come Out at the End of My Lad."
It's absolutely terrifying. But anyway, so the other memory I have. For years I didn't know what this film was. It was a movie that all I could remember was the end, and unfortunately I'm going to ruin it to tell this story. All I remembered was a woman running through the halls of this old house, and the wind was blowing through the windows at night, and it was pretty frightening. And she runs out into the back, and at the back of the house it goes out into this swampland, and she sees a man standing who she obviously loves. She runs to him. She hugs him, and then she looks up and she sees that he's turned into this horrible rotting skeleton, and he's actually got chains around him, and they both sink down through the swamp. And the credits were slow, and it was just her under the water drowning. And the film's called Ruby. But the thing that I always remembered was cheers, mate. The thing that I always remembered was the song which said Red Ruby, and that's how I managed to find it eventually. Because years later, just a few years ago actually, I was able to find it. It's a sort of schlocky, almost Exorcist type clone from the 70s.
Speaking of which,
before you start, sorry, we've got the comment from the chat asking our opinion on Halloween 2007. Not a massive fan of it, but I love Malcolm McDowell and everything he's in. I genuinely think he's one of the actors. Did they not make
Dr. Loomis though an absolute lech?
Yeah, they made him into a kind of a
lecherous old
man. They made him into a kind of a. He was only out to sell his book, so that's the only reason.
Donald Pleasance would be turning in his grave. That man was there to take care of business.
Well, like fucking telling the police what to do. That was always the joke that we've got in Halloween, where there's the police running up the street and fucking Harold Loomis is going, "Get away up there," and the police don't even question them. They just go, "Let's fucking follow this psychologist."
There's a psychiatrist with a gun.
Yeah, that actually suits you remarkably well.
That's a good name for a band, isn't it?
Psychiatrist with a gun.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Picture of Frasier on the drums.
That's what,
and I have started pronouncing it Frasier because you did point out to me the other day. I spoke
this
to
this man
for years, and this is one of my favourite TV shows. One of my favourite TV shows.
Frasier was called Fraser.
Right.
Aye, Fraser. How you doing?
I thought it was the same name. I thought it was the same name up until the other day.
Do you want to replenish the candle on that one up next to you?
Where is the Dr. Pepper?
Where is the Nintendo?
Did you get me one or just you?
I was sitting down to.
You were away for like 40 minutes.
No, I got Mike his, but Dr. Pepper has.
Folklore Orange is the best ever. 100% agree with you. It's a fantastic performance.
I don't know if it's the best ever, but it's a great movie.
No, best ever Malcolm McDowell performance. F's very good. I warmed to that recently.
I've not seen that.
Again, it's now on Netflix. Malcolm McDowell is incredibly enjoyable. No matter what you watch.
Commander. Heart of Darkness. Not Heart of Darkness. Heart of the Tiger.
Star Trek Generations bullshit.
And Heart of the Tiger. And he just wants to go with me on Star Trek every single time. And
I don't know. Sorry, I'll get one.
I'll get The Price of Freedom.
Thanks, man.
I love those two games, and it had Malcolm McDowell in it. I thought they were awesome.
Malcolm McDowell was funny because he was someone I would class as a classically trained actor.
Caligula.
I fucking love Caligula in a kind of strange way. I would class him as a classically trained actor. He pops up in things, he adds a lot to it. But no matter what he turns up in, he's still incredibly enjoyable. I mean, look at fucking Tank Girl. Tank Girl was a but Malcolm McDowell was still quite enjoyable. Again, Tank Girl on Netflix.
So horror.
Yes, true.
So what's Martin said that the earliest sort of horror-based film he can remember is Ghostbusters. The earliest, like, really sort of gory, frightening.
Shall I tell you a few ones that you guys will get?
What's the earliest horror film that you can remember watching?
I can't remember the earliest horror one that I watched, right? But what I will tell you is I remember.
That's the end of that conversation.
As a child, I had a really overactive imagination. I've got ADHD, so it's just fucking to bottom left. It really fucking amplified everything, so my imagination was fucking rampant, right? So, at a young age, I actually watched the fucking remake of The Haunting, which is a shit movie by all accounts.
It is.
I don't know, for some reason, fucking sucked with me.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep that night. I don't know what it was. But then again, I watched it at a time where I was probably quite a bit underage for a horror film. But the weird thing with me was that the film itself was never what, the horror was never what fucking like freaked me out.
It was Owen Wilson's performance.
Yeah, fuck, I know that would scare anyone, but it was always sticking in my mind. I had to decide.
You okay?
Stop it, beer. I had to dissect like every single film I watched. So if there were certain things that I couldn't get my head around, like why it happened, like if there was fucking plot holes, for example, it would trouble me and I couldn't sleep.
Really?
So I would be up all fucking night trying to work
So someone could be like disturbed by something that's in a film, but you'd actually just be detected and the filmmakers hadn't spotted that there was a huge glaring gate of wind in their movie.
Yeah, so I would like spend the whole night fucking turning it over in my head, turning it over. And then there were certain things that would stick in my mind and I would think about them constantly going, could this be possible? That was funny when we did that Sonny Bean documentary that someone else mentioned earlier. At a really young age I went to Edinburgh Dungeon and I remember being up all night. Like, fucking didn't sleep the whole night.
Why did Edinburgh Dungeon?
Because I was thinking about stuff in Scottish history, like for example Sonny Bean. I was thinking, was that possible? And I was running every...
Sonny Bean seriously sort of
That was towards the end of the tour. I mean, we're literally talking about this. I was probably in the very oldest.
Oh, he's torn his chest off.
Loof fucking Ferrigno over here.
You're not taking that back to the shop.
I know, fuck's sake.
Here's to our 15 viewers. Thank you very much, everyone, for sticking with us.
Thank you. But yeah, weirdly, I used to like dissect everything, and I used to run things through my head. I went to the Edinburgh Dungeon on one of the earliest days it was open, and I must have been like 10 or something. I was really young.
She said that before I did that. Tops, you're gonna come off soon. She didn't know I was about to do that.
Where is that? I don't have that here. Oh wait, okay, Tops are going to come off
What's disconcerting is that you both seem to be getting the stream at different times.
No, I've got it. Sorry, I didn't read far enough down.
I find that fascinating though that it was the plot holes.
Yeah, I used to like.
But that shows you though that even at an early age you were kind of fascinated by making films. Because Callum is a professional, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen, yeah.
You touched on something.
I met Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen. Anyway, my mum got a book signed by him just for a laugh. But yeah, Edinburgh Dungeon, right? I used to go to the Sonny Bean exhibit was right at the end of it, and
Sonny Ben.
Sonny Ben.
Tony Ben.
Remember when they had dynamite back then, Martin?
Yeah.
Martin made a couple of wee slip ups.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, let me just clear this up. Right. If you watch this. If you watch the Sonny Bean video, you see that I mentioned that one of the theories about what happened with Sonny Bean is that
get rid of the jacket, sir.
King James the First dynamited.
Sorry, the dynamite.
Callum lost his
Right.
balance.
He went out.
I know, really. You nearly went up the fucking street.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but he nearly went out the window.
Can we show them that briefly? Actually, let's give them a bit of context. Welcome to the welcome everyone. Rankin. Sorry.
Are we all in shot now, Callum? I think that's a lot closer.
Don't drunkenly do this. Make sure that that is a lot closer, isn't it?
No, it needs to be back. It needs to be back. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Sonny Ben.
Anyway, you were saying.
So Sonny Bean, right?
Sonny Bean.
One of the theories was that the king ordered his men, and I said in the video to dynamite them into the cave. Actually, I should have said seal them in the cave, because of course the story's supposed to have happened in the 15th century. Dynamite wasn't invented until Alfred Nobel came along, and when was it? The late 19th or early 20th century to invent dynamite. I shouldn't have said dynamite. It's been it's been eaten away.
Where we have a partially shot other short at fucking Nobel's Institute.
That's the funny thing, because Dynamite was actually made just up the road from where we shot that. There was a big dynamite factory at Ardeer where we actually have another short film.
And there's a
shot.
cracking apple tree as well.
That's another whole other story. But anyway, it's been slowly eating away at my conscience that I made that mistake, and it's gone out there for the world to see. So I just want to clear this up. I'm sorry if I've misled you about the existence of Dynamite 2 or 3 or possibly 4.
Think you're being too
possibly 4 centuries before Dynamite was invented. I researched this to the point I researched this to the point that I thought maybe I can get over it, but say I didn't mean dynamite, I meant blasting powder. No, blasting powder wasn't even used until about 50 years later.
I posted a story online once where the main character's name changed halfway through the story, and someone pointed it out, said, "Who am I meant to be rooting for here? Robert or David?"
Don't worry. When I shouldn't say this, but when I proofread Mick's story, he changed his character's name. Changed it one time. He gave the character the wrong name once.
Crazy Dash.
Not as bad as you, but
yeah. See that, but that was a case of
it happens.
Yeah, it's because
welcome, Frosted Mini Fears.
You changed your
hello,
mind.
Frosted Mini Fears.
Hello, colleagues in fear.
Yeah.
So what was I going to say? So what happens is you change your mind about what the character's going to be called, and you think I'll edit the rest later, and then you don't. Is that what happened?
Yeah. Well, I think it's more that you start writing a story, and then you go away from it for a while.
You decide that like Shag is not a good name
for
a character.
You go away from it for a while, and then you come back. You come back, and then you start writing again, and for some reason you decide to change the character's name, and then even when you do, you proofread it, for some reason there's a block and you don't change it throughout. It's just happened to me once, but luckily it was like the first comment on a Reddit story I posted, and then I was able to change it before anyone else saw it.
God damn you!
Made that person look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and then delete their comment. No, no,
you chump.
Anyway, right. So what we do next, chat?
Well, yeah. What was one thing I was going to touch on?
What's the competition?
Well, we'll come to that in a minute. One thing I was going to touch on was you said about you had that memory of that film. Was it a film on the tip of your tongue?
Yeah.
And you couldn't remember what it was called. Do you guys have any other stories that you or films or things that you kind of half remember you've never been able to work out what they are?
Yeah, a ton of them, but I can't bring them up.
I was saying
that porno where.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier.
We were watching the thing the other day for Samurai Cop 2, and I was like, half the cast are porn stars, and Martin either was pretending out of modesty that he didn't know who they were, or didn't genuinely know.
I genuinely didn't know.
I was like,
I read that one of them was.
I was like, I'm going to fucking turn up a mastermind as my fucking specialist subject.
No, but I was saying when we were talking about like the horror film you remember, or the earliest horror film you remember watching. Yeah. I was talking about that film Ruby, and that was a prime example of really the internet getting to the stage where I could literally type in Red Ruby theme song or song lyrics, and I got the song, and then that led me to the film finally. But I'd actually tried for years to find it, and I couldn't. But I think there are things that you watch and you remember parts of it. They are, unfortunately, I know what they are now. Though that's the thing. I found what they were. The hearse was one, and the big one for me was Burnt Offerings, which still to this day has one of the most frightening conclusions to a film I've ever seen, and it scared the shit out of me.
Why do I know Burnt Offerings though? No. What is that something you've done or like?
I did a little story where I renamed it Burnt Offerings.
Right. Okay. That's how I know it. I only know things written by Michael.
He's not allowed to read anything else.
So the two that always stick in my head. One is a short story. They're both short stories actually. One is a short story that I read years ago as a kid that must have been in a compendium of like vampire stories or like or ghost stories. About it starts off with sort of 3 or 4 landed gentry sitting around in a drawing room discussing their previous exploits. These kinds of short stories that were written in maybe the late 19th century, early 20th century. And one of them starts telling a story about a quote unquote friend of his who was rejected by a woman and decided to get his revenge on her by chaining her up in a basement and torturing her.
2 seconds, where's the candle? Sorry.
No, it was got.
No one cares. Here, look, put that in.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
By chaining her up in the basement and torturing her, right? But then in the basement, he finds this basement in an abandoned old house, and it turns out it's haunted. He starts seeing these figures in the corner of his eyes, and I can't remember exactly what happens. I think the ghosts actually take her as like a kind of sacrifice or something, and they end up sort of torturing her or something, and it gets really, really fucked up, and then in the end, the guy's sitting there talking about how his friend did all this, and then accidentally let slip that it was really him. Right. I can't for the life of me find out what the name of the story is. It was really interesting. I wanted to do a narration of it because it was really bizarre.
Have you tried looking at like the Armada books or the Pan books?
No.
Because if like when I was a kid, if you were reading any like compendiums of like ghost stories or horror stories, it was either Armada or Pan.
You got a glow stick there, mate?
It's inside me.
Forget
We
it.
should find a generator.
I don't know if these guys can even see it, to be honest.
Well, no, they can't. I kind
I
of feel
kind of want to eat this.
I kind of feel the need.
The other one.
Alright, well, light it. Have you not got the lighter?
I'm going to light it and eat it.
No, I don't like it and eat it. Just light it and stick it. Oh, you.
What I'm really.
You got the candles there. You can
I know.
light them up.
What I'm really surprised.
So I want to get Jack's elephant back online.
Where's the lighter? Where's the lighter? God damn it! Sorry.
The other here is here. The other one is I'll deal with it.
No, it's not. Go on.
The other one
Let's
is
not light the glow stick.
a story in which a man and a woman are walking along the beach and they find a skeleton lying on the beach with a ring on its finger, and they take the ring from the skeleton. The man takes the ring from the skeleton.
That sounds familiar. Ow!
This is just descending into silly.
Sorry,
No, carry on, listen.
He knew that was going to throw me off. He did it because
I know.
he knew.
No, but that
Did it because he knew.
sounds quite familiar.
So the man's walking along the beach. He's actually not got his wife with him. I tell a lie. He's walking along the beach on his own. He finds a skeleton with the ring in his finger. He takes the ring off the skeleton's finger and takes it to his wife and gives it to her as a gift. And the wife takes it and puts it on her finger. And they're lying in bed one night, and he's lying. He wakes up and he hears like a slight creak. He hears like a noise, and he hears what sounds like footsteps coming into the room. And then he starts hearing a voice saying like, "Give me back my ring. Give me back my ring," and it's getting closer and closer, and eventually he pulls the ring off his wife's finger and throws it out the window, and then all he hears is like a clatter of bones falling down the cliffs outside towards the beach again, and he's moaning. But it was just a really short wee story, but it was really good. It might have even been in the form of a poem, possibly. Right. I really
have you tried
it,
looking
but
for
not been able to. Not seriously. The one I've seriously been trying to find because I wanted to narrate it was the first one I spoke about with the ghost in the cellar. But I'd like to find that other one as well. There was another one that a guy was telling me about at work that sounded really interesting. Although I think he might just be fucking making it up. But it's an old black and white
guy
film.
that lost his drone.
He said it was like an old black and white film from like maybe the 40s or something about people that are like mining. In underground somewhere, like digging in a mine, and they dig through into a cavern that's full of like living gargoyles. But to me, that seems like something that would be made in the 80s.
That's not the film Gargoyle, is it?
I don't think so, but maybe. But he said it was black and white and it was made in like the 40s. But to me, it doesn't sound like a film from the 40s. It sounds like it would be like a stop motion film from the 70s.
But it's funny though. See if you think about it.
Was that the glass breaking? Maybe.
What glass? If you think about it,
let's keep this creepy.
There's literally been so many films made now that it's almost impossible to, and there's so many permutations of various different films been made as well now that it's almost impossible to keep track, even with something like the internet, And I agree with you. There's nothing more frustrating than when you think I remember seeing this film that's got such and such plot elements and you can't find it.
Yeah.
Drives you fucking daft.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to love those when we were talking about the sort of compendiums or anthologies.
Yeah.
My dad used to buy me them, the Pan Book of Horror and Armada Ghost Stories, I think. What's up?
So
Good. Sorry. And I remember a story. Funnily enough, actually, I had this book when I was a kid that had loads of ghost stories, illustrated ghost stories on it. It was quite a big book. I always remember it had a red cover. It had illustrated ghost stories in it, but it also had like pictures of supposed real life hauntings and things like that. And it disappeared. It just, not that that's meant to be spooky, but like I lost it, and I've always wanted to find it again. But I always remember a story about, and it was quite a sort of generic story really, but it was a story about this severed hand coming back to take revenge on the person who had.
I
mean, it's slightly less dramatic, but you remember the story I always told you about the South African miner toy that I had in my house? Like, that was like, I used to, when I first moved into my house, I used to find this toy of like a Boer, like South African, like he was a miner.
Yeah. With an O or an E?
14.
Minor or minor?
Minor.
What was that face for?
It's keeping your place, yes. But basically, I used to find it in various parts of my house, and then it would turn up on maybe
His dad was fucking with him.
3 or 4 different locations, and then it disappeared. I never found it again after that. No idea where the fuck it is now.
Yeah.
And it used to turn up. It used to turn up at the porch and the back and stuff like that. And none of my other family members, when I used to speak to them about it, had any knowledge of it.
I think I've told. The thing is, we've had this conversation on a live stream before, but I'll tell this story again anyway.
Because you're running out.
Yeah. No, it's funny when I love listening to supposedly real experiences. Well, they are real experiences, whether they're actually supernatural or not. Yeah. Most of the time, the people that are telling the stories genuinely believe that what they've experienced is a real thing. But there are some strange coincidences that happen. One of the strangest was a story that my dad told me, that when my dad went to Edinburgh with his mum, and they were going to look.
That's scary.
They were going to Edinburgh.
Shit, by the way.
No, I like Edinburgh anyway. They were going.
How do you like Edinburgh? What do you like about it?
I do like it.
What do you like about it?
Well, I like the centre. I don't know much more about the outside of it, but I like the centre of it.
Bad bit, mate.
Fucking right.
I like
he used to live there. I fucking hate Edinburgh.
Maybe, but I like the look of it anyway. But anyway, so,
yeah, it's quite gothic.
So, my dad went to Edinburgh Castle with my gran. And there's a book of remembrance in Edinburgh Castle which has all the names of the people who died during the Second World War, and it's a huge thick book, obviously, because of the number of people that died in Scotland who fought. And without being elitist or racist in any way, we were pretty much exclusively put in the front line of everything. I mean, look at Dunkirk, for example. The only fucking troops that were left. The only troops that were left. No creepiness for you guys, because Callum has ruined it.
Factual accuracy. The only troops that were left at the end of Dunkirk. The only troops that were left at the end of Dunkirk were Scottish, and they practically had no ammunition towards the end.
Anyway.
You say they were first in and they were the last ones left?
Yes.
Hard asses.
I'm going to come across and help you out, Martin.
So, fuck's sake, what's the point of telling this story?
We're listening.
Anyway, my gran went to the Edinburgh Castle, and the Book of Remembrance was there. I just fucking you dicks, honestly. This really happened. And
your gran went to Edinburgh Castle.
Anyway, she was
saw a monster.
Her brother died during the Second World War. I wrote a little short story about it called "A Knock at the Door," and they're still laughing at that.
I'm being deadly serious.
And he died on the Barham, which is that totally missed me, so it's fine. Which is a famous ship. Because there's actual footage of it capsizing and then exploding. It's terrifying because you can see all of the. There's no point in me telling this story, is there? There really is no point in me telling this story because my 2 colleagues at Ghastly Tales are absolute shambles of human beings, I'm talking about the dead.
Look at this. Look, dead serious.
With a handful of ice.
Oh yeah, comedy ice.
The
Fucking deadly serious.
oh, Carl.
Sorry, I've just unplugged the webcam and keep talking.
Oh, you're a fucking idiot. Honestly, you're a fucking idiot. No more alcohol for you. What's going to
Be back online.
What happens now?
Very good question.
Well, mate, pull it together.
Okay.
Figure it out. Let's see, I'm watching. It's just a go. And here comes. And there we go.
Oh, brilliant.
But the thing is, we've still got.
Are we back? Are we
Yeah,
actually
we're back.
Oh,
are we
fuck.
back?
Okay, wait.
Right.
But we've still got audio the whole time. Have we still had audio the whole time?
Yeah, we've still got audio.
Are we?
Oh, that's
Okay,
okay.
sorry.
Can I apologise most profusely for?
The drunken antics.
I know.
Sorry, tell a story about
I'm
Edinburgh
not telling
Castle.
it because it's.
No, tell it now. Let's get
it's
back
an
to
emotional story.
Let's get back to
and they've
serious.
ruined
Okay,
it.
okay. Now we know that.
They've
We'll
ruined
be
it.
serious.
No,
I
no,
was,
they've ruined
I was
it.
trying to rein Callum.
I heard
was
you
the
say
sensible one.
no, but Callum had to come in like a fucking elephant and just wreck.
There we go.
Callum, if you don't know what just happened, Callum stumbled into the webcam and knocked it off the light stand that it's on.
Yeah.
And now it's just.
So
I'm just
gentlemen.
off at the me and
What,
Mike off at the
Callum-
corner of the shop.
Callum, what
It's
is that?
fixed. It's fine.
Let's see. I don't believe him. Is it fixed?
The picture is off. Yeah, the picture is off because Callum knocked it like fucking 40 feet across the room.
Callum, are we actually in the shop?
No, we are.
Well,
Don't
we're
worry,
in the
you're
shop. He's not in the shop.
Callum, you need to stop drinking.
Just generally, you just need to generally stop
absolute
drinking. Mate.
disaster of a human being.
Right, so Edinburgh.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh,
Edinburgh.
are we getting right? Okay, so
Yeah, we're
sit down.
We're fine. We're back to 1080 now.
Right, we lost about 10 viewers. Okay, so anyway, I'll tell this story again. So my gran went to Edinburgh Castle. There was a book of remembrance that has all the names of the people from Scotland that died during the Second World War. Her brother died during the Second World War. He died in a ship called the Baron. There's a very famous piece of footage that actually shows you the ship capsizing and the hull is covered in the crew. All these hundreds of men, and then it just goes up like a powder keg. It's
And then it's covered in the crew.
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, he said that he was going to be.
I'm being serious.
Anyway, see the thing is now, unless my gran went to Edinburgh Castle and it took off and showed that it was actually
No, tell it.
a spacecraft.
Tell it.
To reunite her with her dead brother. This story is going to be. She opened the book. She just opened the book
It's on Wattpad, guys.
of remembrance, and she opened it thousands of pages straight at where her brother's name was.
That's pretty cool.
It's not pretty cool.
It is pretty
He's
cool.
saying that now.
It's thousands to one, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the fucking story. Anyway.
Sure, your gran would not appreciate that language, though.
No, she would. So like, she wouldn't also appreciate the company I'm keeping. But I love listening to supposed real accounts or experiences that people have had.
too,
That are
yeah.
little brushes with the strange sometimes are more interesting to me than someone telling.
Like exaggerated stories, yeah.
Because like something like that feels more believable somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
You
Still
still
laughing
are.
about the fact that I tripped over the webcam.
You're not even in the shot, Callum.
More or less.
He's fixing it there. So what's the
skull
The
experiment.
skull experiment.
Supposedly
Should we-
claims to be evidence for the proof of the
should we
afterlife.
Google that? But in the meantime,
You
someone,
Google it. I've got the chat open here.
Someone asked a little while ago about the Bermuda Triangle. Who was it that asked about the Bermuda Triangle?
It was
Do you
me
remember?
that started the Bermuda
No,
Triangle stuff.
someone asked. Was it you? Were
That
you not
was
reading
Cal.
someone's
Yes,
comments?
I started fucking just talking about it out of my own interest.
Well, okay. Well, you might be interested in the little audio clip I've got there. Don't. Why is that funny?
You can't explain it.
It's not you. It's,
Your face is dripping with alcohol.
I know that. Sorry.
Should we?
This whole chat, this whole fucking live stream is dripping with alcohol.
I know. Sorry.
Alright, do you want to listen to the audio clip?
Yeah, okay, so wait a minute.
I think that's what people like. People
wait a minute.
Wait,
Right. So if we're not gonna get back to normality,
can I just say I've been trying to be serious for ages, and all of a sudden you come along with your serious story. So,
you were being silly, and then I tried to capture.
I know you did, mate. I know you did, mate.
Right, we're not gonna laugh with Callum.
Right, okay.
When he laughs, we're gonna be serious.
Right, okay.
Stop it! Stop the fucking sound. Oh, you're ruining it all.
Callum, stop!
I am trying, honestly. Right, okay.
You need to stop fucking laughing. You need to stop laughing.
It's like watching. Do you remember that video?
You need to focus. Listen to me. I'm going to coach you. I'm going to listen. Right. You need to focus on the fact that when he laughs, we're hemorrhaging viewers.
Right. I know.
So every time he laughs, we lose a viewer. God kills a viewer every time he laughs. Right. So then every time you laugh, he kills 10 more.
I'm good now. Right.
So you need to think about when he no. Every time he laughs, you need to think about ghastly tales going down the toilet, right? Ghastly tales. That sounded. That's not a laugh. That is a flush. That is a flush. I'm not laughing. This isn't funny.
Okay,
right?
I'm being serious.
Slap me.
Right.
Fuck's sake.
Okay.
Right, okay, so carry on.
So you're talking about the Bermuda Triangle. This is the pilot of a plane that went missing.
He spat all over me. He just spat all over me.
Let me just clear the stream.
He needs to retire from this.
I know. Right. Anyway, so
we're not going to get anywhere.
So
with
what?
this.
So
no,
I think we need to wind this up.
No, I'm listening.
We need to wind up. We need because it's just
don't wind it up. I've got the clip queued and ready to play. Please carry on with your synopsis.
So, a light aircraft.
I only did that so that he wouldn't. If I smiled, he wouldn't smile.
Don't smile.
So a light aircraft.
The pilot of a light aircraft was flying.
Oh, right. Just ignore him. Just
wind it up. Kill the stream. He's not making me laugh. Talk to me.
I'm interested. I want to hear the fucking story.
I'm not going to drink.
I tell you what.
You can complete your story. So.
I tell you what.
And I've got the story.
No, it's built up now, so he's going to laugh even more as soon as it starts. He's laughing now. He's laughing at me mentioning it. He's laughing at me even mentioning the start and telling the story again.
He's been laughing at my dead uncle a minute ago. So let's just. It's fine. Right. So tell me. A light aircraft.
All right.
Please carry on.
Okay, so a light aircraft is flying between Australia and Tasmania, right? And in between, this aircraft went missing. This is the last communication between that aircraft.
When was this?
This was, I don't know, I'd be lying if I said I knew. We could probably look it up. Let's have a look.
Approximate date.
What's the name on that, Callum?
The name is the Valentish. Valentich disappearance.
Valentish.
1920s, thereabout?
No, it's much later.
I don't know, it's just
okay, so 78. Alright?
Okay.
This guy disappeared in 1978. This is the last radio communication between him and, nearly said ground zero, what do you call it? Air traffic control, right? So the last communication that passed between them, you can play it now.
Cool. I will go and up the volume over there.
Okay, so he seems to be describing something else in the vicinity. Just before. Is there any other traffic below 5,000 feet?
No, traffic. Seems to be a large aircraft below 5,000 feet.
A large aircraft at 5,000
What
feet.
type of aircraft is it? I cannot confirm. It's bright, see-through like landing lights.
It's bright like
The
landing
aircraft
lights.
has just passed over me at least 1,000 feet above.
Passed over
Is
at
there
least
any
1,000
Air
feet.
Force aircraft in the vicinity? No, an aircraft in the vicinity. Seems to be playing some sort of game. He's flying over me. Robert Sierra Juliet. It's not an aircraft. It's... Can you describe the aircraft? As it's flying past, it's a long shape. Cannot identify it. It has such speed. It's before me right now, Melbourne. How large would the object be? Seems like it's stationary. What it's doing right now is orbiting. The thing is just orbiting on top of me. It's also got a green light and a sort of metallic, like, it's shiny on the outside. It's just vanished. That strange aircraft hovering on top of me again. It's hovering and it's not an aircraft.
His last words were, "It's not an aircraft." And then
Did they find him?
No.
No, actually, don't think so.
Let's see what Wikipedia has to say.
See, that sort of stuff.
Wikipedia has got him down as disappearance of Frederick Valentish. So I'm
Going
guessing
to check the framing again.
But yeah, that I thought was pretty creepy. Doesn't mean I necessarily
So
think
they
it was
never-
aliens, but that's pretty
Where was
fucking
it?
bizarre.
Where was he flying over?
And is that legitimately logged with air traffic control? I mean,
Yeah.
Sydney's not exactly a small
It
air
wasn't
zone.
Sydney, it was Brisbane, I think.
Well, he said Melbourne. That's Sydney.
I
The
thought
one between what do you call it? The one between Tasmania, like Tasmania.
Yeah, but you speak
that
to
strait,
Melbourne,
he was
that's
over
Sydney.
He was over that straight. Melbourne's not Sydney. Melbourne.
Yeah, it is.
Melbourne's its own place, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's around the same region.
No, it's South Australia, mate.
Pretty sure Melbourne's close enough.
South Australia. Maybe it's relatively close, but it's South Australia.
Yeah, well, fucking Australia's a big place. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty creepy.
No,
I
it
like
is. I think the idea of, was he just in like a
Small
like,
aircraft. Yeah.
Light aircraft.
There's a loneliness to that as well.
Yeah, a
that's-
lonely death.
Has
That's
anyone ever taken the
really
flight to, I believe, There's actually a flight to Campbelltown.
From Prestwick or Glasgow
Yeah,
or something.
and,
isn't it?
and it's like a 10-seater aircraft at best. I actually know a girl that's been on it a couple of times, and I mean, like, I think it's relatively hairy because it's such a light aircraft. It's quite susceptible to the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm quite, versed with flying out the fucking floor a million times. It doesn't even faze me at all. But I imagine that's probably
I
quite
think
a
there's a
different
small
experience.
aircraft that goes to Shetland as well. I think.
Yes, there is. You're right.
But no, definitely there's something. I think as well there's something frightening about just hearing the audio from something.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
there's
that's
no
that man's
video,
last
there's
words
just-
as well.
yeah.
It's like, we
But
can't see
nothing
him.
else was ever heard from him again.
No, he was just disappeared, never reappeared again.
That's weird. But what happened to, like, no record of the plane or anything? Like, the plane never returned to...
Details. Valentish radioed Melbourne flight service at 7:06 p.m. to report an unidentified craft that was following him at 4,500 feet, and was told that there was...
So, I mean, that's a pretty low altitude as well. I mean, I know it's on a light aircraft, but still.
He was told that there was no known traffic at that level. Valentish said he could see a large unknown craft which appeared to be illuminated by 4 bright landing lights. He was unable to confirm its type and said that it had passed about 1,000 feet overhead and was moving at high speed. Valentish then reported that the aircraft was approaching him from the east and said that the other pilot might be purposefully toying with him. Valentish said the aircraft was orbiting above him and that it was a shiny metal surface with a green light on it. Valentish reported that he was experiencing engine problems. Asked to identify the aircraft, Valentish radioed, "It isn't an aircraft," when his transmission was interrupted by unidentified noise described as being metallic scraping sounds before all contact was lost.
So who was this submitted by? I mean, where's the source of this?
Outcome, missing, presumed dead. Let me just have a little look.
And there's a complete flight record for this guy. I mean, there's no...
Participants Frederick Valentish and Steve Roby, air traffic control. Investigation. It has been proposed that Valentish staged his own disappearance. Possibility. Even taking into account a trip of between 30 and 45 miles to Cape Otway, the aircraft still had enough fuel to fly 800 kilometres despite ideal conditions. At no time was the aircraft plotted on radar, casting doubts as to whether it was ever near Cape Otway. And Melbourne police received reports of a light aircraft making a mysterious landing not far from Cape Otway at a similar time to Valentish's disappearance. So it's possible
I suppose if you stack it up, I mean, that's a pretty brilliant way to hide yourself.
Why would you make it a UFO abduction? Of all the ways you could possibly fake your own death.
I guess that's the least anyone would suspect. I mean, you wouldn't immediately jump to UFO abduction if someone disappeared.
But the story that he gives on the radio pretty much,
said it. Oh, of course. I mean, from what you would discern there, I guess you would feel that way. But
on the other hand, ufologists have speculated that extraterrestrials either destroyed Valentine's plane or abducted him, asserting that some individuals reported seeing an erratically moving green light in the sky, and that he was in a steep dive at the time. Ufologists believe these accounts are significant because of the green light mentioned in Valentine's radio transmission. So people nearby saw a green light in the sky. The fact that it was green also matches what he said.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I mean, you can disprove it from the point of view of the other information there that sounds like it's a guy that's faked his own demise. But then again,
happy Halloween, Chris.
Yep.
Chris Nuts in the chat.
Welcome, sir. Chris. But it's an interesting one from the point of view that you've got these ufologists that are tethering on to certain elements that are there, and I'm not saying you can't disprove them, but as far as it's set up, I mean, the guys obviously made it very clear that...
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, the guys obviously made it very clear that that's the stance he's gone for.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to work around, but as far as I'm concerned, it seems like a brilliant cover-up for a disappearance.
I wonder if he owed somebody money or something.
Or a plane.
But what was I going to say? I've often thought... I'm not a great believer in ghosts and aliens visiting the Earth. I mean, I don't doubt that there's other life out there, but I don't necessarily think that they've come here. But I've often thought that if it had happened once, like if one alien probe had come to Earth during human history and investigated Earth and humans had encountered it, right, we wouldn't know because it would be hidden among all the paranoid false reports.
Yeah, definitely.
If tomorrow a UFO actually landed on your lawn and an alien came out and looked at you and surveyed your house and got back in and shot off and you went mental and went out to the news would do a funny little story about it and that would never get thought again.
You'd be stigmatised for it.
I mean, it could have happened 2 or 3 times.
Have you ever seen? I can't remember his name, but there was a guy that claimed that he'd worked at Area 51 and he'd worked in a whole.
Well, we did that last. Was that the same one we did in the previous?
Where his hands were disfigured. This is
this is different. We did the podcast before.
What I remember about it is that there's a number of talks. This is a few years ago. I was into this and I was reading about this guy and I watched some of the talks that he gave, and he had several of his fingers were missing, and he actually claimed that had happened when he came into contact with an alien being. And I'm sure I remember them talking about how he was involved in some sort of construction, and these constructions were underneath the earth in America, building these big sorts of bunkers. And I think at one point he said they tunnelled into something.
Has he seen the most recent War of the Worlds?
Possibly.
That's the plot for the most recent War of the Worlds.
This is 20 years ago, I think, so it's a while ago. But
the original War of the Worlds still had them in capsules.
Yeah, but I remember that being quite interesting, and I think I'm not sure. I think he committed suicide, and a lot of friends were like, "This guy, there's no way." A lot of people were like, "Oh, was he told to shut up?" Basically, because he went on a lot of talks. He would go and do tours. But the problem with these things as well is that you get people who seem. There's a guy called Stephen Greer who seems really legitimate when you first talk to him. He's a doctor. He headed up the Disclosure Project, where he organised all these people from around the world to talk about experiences that they'd had in civil aviation and in the military and in the space program as well, where people were coming forward and saying, look, we've seen things, and it was all hushed up and all that. So you think, oh, this all seems really legitimate, it's really interesting. Then go and listen to a podcast Stephen Greer did with Joe Rogan, and he talks about the Disclosure Project, and it all seems legitimate. And then he starts.
Joe Rogan's really good at debunking stuff.
Yeah, but then he starts telling you that as well as all this stuff, he can also summon UFOs with his mind.
That guy that was...
Same guy.
It's obviously like an ability.
Do you know what's funny about Joe Rogan though? He's knowledgeable in a good range of topics and he's a really good speaker. But the thing that's also interesting about him as well is he can leather most people.
Aye.
So like at the same time, like even if you come across a thing where
have
like...
you seen the outtake from Fear Factor where one of the contestants tries to go for him?
But anyway, the thing about Joe Rogan is like, even if like you come across a point where you might slightly disagree with Joe Rogan, you couldn't say anything about it because you know you fucking turn your face into a pulp. Good comment from Andy actually. Andy's saying that he reckons it's an air traffic controller conspiracy, and he says it is a pretty fun way to fake your death. I'm inclined to agree with that, as I was saying earlier on. I think it's a brilliant way to fucking...
Signing out.
Thanks very much for joining us. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
See you in the next one, hopefully.
Enjoying you, mate.
Check in tomorrow. We've got a film coming out.
Yep.
Halloween themed film.
But that's an excellent way to fake your own death, I suppose. You know, to build up a layer of conspiracy around it.
Do you remember the guy who was in he was British, but did he go to Argentina or something?
Boy
like that?
George?
No, he went to Argentina or something like that, and that's Boy George's hat you're wearing though.
By the way, can I say though that Boy George is claiming that he slept with Prince? This has just come out today.
Nice. But anyway, this guy...
No, I don't care.
This guy supposedly drowned and his body went missing, and then they found him like a year and a half later.
I remember
that?
Yeah,
and it was a big thing. And I think he got done because he'd like... I can't
taken
remember.
photos and put them on Facebook.
No, he'd like rerouted mail to himself or something like that, something
right.
stupid like that. But he get caught out, and it was like a sort of insurance thing, or he was trying to get away from debts, that sort of thing. So people do fake their deaths, but like
before you can name, remember the gentleman? Was it Scotland or was it England? The guy with the canoe.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Sorry, Karen.
Yeah.
You have my permission.
So the I think when someone goes missing, it does create this sort of vacuum where people can fucking dicks, honestly.
Carry on.
It creates this vacuum.
It creates this vacuum where people fill it with explanations.
Yeah.
And
that guy's created something to fill that vacuum. If he has faked his own death.
Yeah.
He's created us, an interesting story. My problem with it as a fake your own death scenario is it's like the Scooby-Doo cover-up. Let's hide our secret diamond smuggling operation by inventing a crazy monster that all the press and investigators are going to rush to look at, that's going to attract all this attention. You know,
I know that
it's like putting up a big neon sign saying, "Hey guys, don't look over here."
Listen, there are conditions where experienced pilots can be flying upside down, and they don't even realise. You know, so I mean, there's no there's no reason why you couldn't actually, that something like that couldn't have happened, or some sort of loss of oxygen that makes you hallucinate, that sort of thing as well. But I don't know. But I think missing cases are quite interesting. Not for the families, obviously. I showed you that one, or did I show you that one the other week? And it was two girls that went hiking.
And they got a cup. And then one.
Two girls ate one cup.
You see, it's alright for him
Martin
to make jokes.
but if we make jokes,
then it's this life is over.
No. What I'm getting, I make a joke and that's it, right? So we're gone. Whereas one of you, Callum laughs at something and he laughs at it for 45 minutes and he can't stop.
It's pretty funny.
Do you know we've nearly been going for 3 hours?
Really? Yeah. My God.
It's nearly 1 in the morning.
Keep going.
What is there a competition
for? What?
For today?
Well, these
we've got
prizes
Ghostbusters popping candy.
We've got Blu-rays, we've got DVDs.
Or do you want to just open this Ghostbusters popping candy and try it?
Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. I think we should actually, mate, let's default the thing back to...
Podcast has got Slimer.
We've actually been talking about doing a video series on Ghastly Tales called, I was talking about doing it called Pandora's Box, where 2 different teams are tasked with a budget of £50 to create a box that we would bury.
Hold on, let's
Thanks
do it
very much.
simultaneously.
We would bury like a time capsule, and people would dig up, and it had to be fully representative of horror, or as best as we could be for £50. This is one of the quizzes we could do, but we were talking about having a
Let's get slime on it.
competition before that. Are we going to tan this and drink?
Right, so this is Ghostbusters popping
Hold on,
candy. I don't know how
let's do it at the
strong it
same
is.
time, though. Wait on, wait a
Bite
minute.
it.
Fucking hell.
I've got it open.
Hey, don't take it yet. We'll take it at the same time.
These sold out super quick.
What exactly is popping candy?
You know, like, remember you used to get those Wonka bars
The
that
chocolate bars that crack on your
yeah.
tongue. But this is just purely the crackle stuff, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
ready?
pure the crack. Wait. I need to open it up more. Right, you set?
Right, 3, 2,
Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen.
Halloween.
Nothing's happening. Oh, fuck.
It's got like a green apple taste to it as well. Fucking hell.
Sorry, everyone.
Now is probably a really bad time to say I've actually got a mouth ulcer down here.
Oh shit, these ones are apple, these ones are strawberry, man.
Really? I
There's
just got
strawberry.
fucking raw apple.
There's some strawberry.
Huh?
Strawberry ones are
Yes,
nicer.
it's like Pop Rocks.
Well, don't open one
Should,
bag.
should we get some Diet Coke for this?
Yeah, fuck it, I'm here.
Diet Coke and Pop
So I
Rocks.
tan it my drink.
Don't know, apparently something happens. Whoa, get away from that computer. Get away.
Chin.
This is one of my myths.
I'm looking at this and it looks like the fucking silly string. I'm panicking.
This can't be
It's
nice.
100% like Pop Rock Sporting Bag. You're fucking bang on.
Ah, fuck. I've got a mouth ulcer.
How did you get that? Do you know that one, apparently?
Eating too many of them.
Do you know apparently 1 in 3 people have got herpes? Like you know, be either the
Oh,
mouth
if
or
you've ever had
genital
a cold sore, you get herpes. In fact,
Sorry guys, we didn't give you.
no,
So the competition, guys, is guess which one of these three people have herpes.
I've had cold sores, so I can't really say anything against it.
Sam.
Just means I'm sexually active, baby.
It came back and hit you, didn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie Chalk, welcome
Charlie
to the chat.
Chalk. Charlie Chalk.
He's got a funny way of walking and a funny way. Oh, sorry, a funny way of walking and a wacky way of talking.
Charlie Chalk.
Charlie Chalk.
This has really descended into a... Right, will we try another...
Should we do a competition?
Well, no, I think we should just choose your own adventure.
Why don't we do it 14 times?
What?
14 times.
Do it.
Go for it. Yeah, because we did this that last.
I
Right,
knew
so
you were-
what were the numbers again? What did we get
So give me a number, guys, between, let's see, between 14 and 191. So guys, give me a number between 14 and 191. And Michael, you're gonna have to think of some shit to talk.
Alright, okay.
While I have a look through
While we decide
this
on the
laptop's
number.
dead.
Is it just
Yeah,
that?
it's batteries run down.
Alright, well I'll keep an eye on this then.
Yeah.
Okay then. It's a funny thing though, like I wonder in America, did they do like ducking for apples in the same way they do here? Bobbing.
Ducking for
bobbing.
apples.
Is it not
Ducking
bobbing?
for apples.
Is it bobbing?
I think it's ducking. You
Is
guys
it
can tell
ducking
us,
or
is it
bobbing?
Ducking for apples or bobbing for apples, you guys call it? But yes, they do. Yeah. But you know, it's interesting because here, the Halloween tradition, as I was saying before, is something called guising, where you go out dressed as a monster or something
guy.
scary, specifically. And it
Andrew
said specifically.
says 169.
169. Okay. That's not within the... Oh, no, it is within the range. So, that's a picture of a sinkhole.
Sorry.
Oh, show the camera.
168. Okay, yeah, you get that. Yeah, there you go. Picture of a sinkhole.
Enjoy.
Take
that with you.
What I'll give you is it's a page of subsidences. It's not very interesting.
We need another number.
What about psychic powers?
Yeah, that looks like a whole big.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
We'll finish what I was saying about. What was I talking about?
169 from Andy.
You finished.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
You got 169, yeah?
Psychic powers in relation to the New York City blackout. One Tuesday, a small man with white hair and twinkling eyes turned up at the offices of the Seattle Post-Intelligencer. He offered to predict Thursday's headline, an offer no newspaper editor could surely resist. He gave his name only as Roger, pronounced Roger. 52 years old, an ex-newsman, come from Salinas, California to attend a magician's conference. He sealed his prediction in 5 envelopes. When editor Stephen Green opened the envelopes on the Tuesday morning,
not Stephen King,
in Roger's presence, he found written, "Massive power blackout hits New York City area." Incredibly, this was exactly the same as the headline which appeared on the front page of Thursday's newspaper. How Roger knew this was anyone's guess.
He says, "What a majestic sinkhole."
Oh yes. If you could present this to the camera, Mr. McPhail. Hold it up.
And he
will
fall.
A picture of a sinkhole for your viewing pleasure. Right, we got any other numbers yet?
After 169, 14.
Who's idea?
Charlie.
Mark, right.
Apparently we're frozen. I think we should resume in a second. Hang on. What's the feed? Mind you, we had been going for fucking 3 hours, so we should resume momentarily.
Are we back in action?
Wait till I see the feed re-engage. There we go, we're back in.
Woo!
Fuck, mind if I just move that? Oh,
see, that's what I thought it was going to do to you. And you. Was the string.
Yeah, there's a difference between long range and short range.
He modified it so that it would just be a fucking brutal death machine.
Okay, so Star Wars? With a question mark. In the last decade, this is the 1990s because it's an old book, there have been around 80 unexplained explosions in deep space. A bang on the 5th of March 1979, 50 times more intense than any previously recorded, occurred 180,000 light years away in the Large Magellanic Cloud. Magellanic? I think it is because it's Magellan, isn't it? It's
yeah.
A large Magellanic Cloud outside our galaxy. A vast quantity of lethal gamma rays were produced at a fraction of a second and scorched across space and were widely picked up by 8 widely scattered space probes. It differed from typical gamma ray bursts in that its emissions were at unusually long wavelengths. Ray Klebezadel, I don't know, 14 times always catches me out with the fucking crazy surnames. Yeah. Ray Klebezadel, a leading scientist
I know
at Los Alamos, said this event was definitely not a supernova. The source was an area only about 187 miles in diameter with a whole lot of energy erupting in a fairly small sector. It resembled a high-energy bomb blast, he said. Nuclear physicist Stanton T. Friedman declared, "Tremendous activity of this sort could well be life out there involved in a war." Said James Oberg at Houston, "It is a legitimate theory that Star Wars may be taking place in space."
What was I going to say? Do you think Magellan's somewhat underappreciated as an explorer?
That's an interesting point, Martin. I think maybe there could be intergalactic battles going on out there.
It just looks like that skull's making.
There could be intergalactic battles going on there, and we wouldn't even know.
Skeletor says.
I know.
But that ties in with something that's in the news currently at the minute, does it not? About,
because of this.
What's the name of this? Can someone look up the name of the star?
Something in a long.
The star with the funny light patterns.
1, 2.
What's its name? Could you?
It's a serial number.
I'm literally going to Google star with the funny light patterns.
No. Look up.
Where's my phone gone?
Look up.
Excuse me. Where's my £900 fucking phone gone? Fuck you, Apple.
Look at you.
I'm not fucking happy about it.
Okay, so
here we go.
They won't get it.
while was it new? What was the name of the probe that was looking? Kepler, yeah. So Kepler is it a space probe or a satellite?
It's a satellite.
Satellite, right? Okay, so Kepler looks at a range of stars and examines them for
Voyager's the
changes.
interesting one though.
But wait, okay.
Voyager's a satellite, but it's left the solar system.
It's a probe.
It's
a probe.
Voyager's the first
orbit.
one. No, but Voyager's the first one to actually leave our solar system.
That's right. But Kepler,
Voyager,
as it will one day become to be known. So Kepler looks at stars to see changes in the brightness of the light coming out of them in order to detect planets. Now there's a particular signature.
Welcome back, Alan.
There's a particular signature that you can observe when a planet passes in front of the star. Now this star, K something 8 something.
The 8 is definitely.
There's definitely an 8 in it, right?
Bunch of numbers.
The pattern of dimming that we see on that doesn't look like any kind of planet. For example, if you were to look at it on a graph, a planet is obviously a round object, so the light dims in an even fashion either side. This dims faster on one side and then rises slowly, as if there's obviously almost like some really large, unevenly shaped object moving in front of the star at regular intervals, but not perfectly regular intervals. And there's different objects of different shapes and sizes, some of them much larger than any planet could ever be, and with completely different signatures. So one theory is that potentially what we have detected is something called a Dyson swarm, which is a structure postulated by a man named, I believe, Freeman Dyson.
Not to be mistaken with the guy that builds brilliant hoovers.
Vacuum cleaners.
I know, but
Hoover's a brand name. Fucking Alan Partridge.
Mechanical speakers.
Don't call tannoys public address systems.
So the theory going that if a civilization is sufficiently advanced enough to need huge amounts of power, could actually launch massive solar panels into space to surround the star, and what we may be looking at is an alien superstructure out there in space, and we could be seeing its signals. So it's quite interesting. It's fairly unlikely that that's the case.
Yeah.
But if it is the case,
it's nice.
Smork and Babbitt says KLC 8462.
Callum is reading this with one eye. He's like
another one of these.
Yeah, fucking involve yourself. Yeah, KLC 8462852. You want to give that a little bit of Google on your...
It's off, it's died. It's died. I was trying to plug it in, but I'm too far away from the socket.
That's over there.
I know.
Right, okay, I will Google it.
What is it? Let me read it. What's the number?
KLC 846852. I'll Google it on the surface if you want.
No, it's fine. We've covered that now.
Did we just cover it there?
Right, blow on it, right?
Right,
do we have any other numbers?
Callum?
I'm going to Google that.
Any other numbers being suggested by our
fucking...
No, actually, look at this. Eyes over here.
86. No more in the chat.
We're going to have to round this up. So
86.
Callum is way too drunk.
86.
Can I join you and have a whiskey?
Yeah, get involved.
Enjoy your... But you spat in this one.
Enjoy your compliment. I didn't spit in it at a moment intentionally.
No, you didn't.
Brains! Who needs them? A 20-year-old housewife discovered that the cause of her severe headaches was a .22 bullet her husband fired at her as she slept. Evelyn Muxert of Saint Etienne near Lyons. Is that French? French. Oh, Saint Etienne.
Is this KLC 84628?
Woke up one night in May 1983 to find a little blood in her hair. She washed her hair, then went back to bed with her husband. But when her headaches continued for 10 days, she went to hospital where x-rays showed the bullet in her skull. It was removed.
No, that's Canadian stuff.
And her husband was charged with attempted murder.
Her husband was? So
yeah. Did he shot her in the head while she was sleeping?
While she was sleeping?
Yeah.
And she didn't know?
She woke up with a severe headache.
Well, we can actually put this to the guy that's married.
Kirsty would shoot me in the head if she got a chance,
You think?
Well, no, I don't think she would do it. She's too nice a person.
So you think Kirsty would change you for me? Is that what you're saying?
What?
This is getting dark, guys.
Well, I'm trying to work out what you're saying. I don't understand.
That she would shoot me in the head. If that could probably annoy her enough. But if she had a gun, she would shoot me. Which is why I'm really glad there's gun control laws here.
Michael had a good
Cheers, John. Do you want to hear about the little boy?
Michael had a really good wedding. I enjoyed it. So let's
guys,
The boy of a little brain.
Michael.
Oh, what are we doing?
Join it together.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Martin.
Cocktail. Okay, so do you want to hear about the little boy born without a brain?
Charlie Chalk. Charlie Chalk says 15.
15.
Let's fucking give him the shout,
because that might make me sad.
Charlie Chalk.
Why would it make you sad?
Charlie Chalk. He's got a funny way of walking and a wacky way of talking. Charlie Chalk, 15.
He's
remember the woman they said was born without a brain, and it just turned out that
not in Charlie Chalk though.
No, but she actually had a bigger volume of
knowledge,
neural tissue than
an
average person.
We're talking about Charlie Chalk just now. Charlie Chalk was in a fantastic show. Let's not debate it.
Alright, stop.
Charlie Chalk. Charlie Chalk. We've got a wacky way of walking and a wacky way of talking. Charlie Chalk. Charlie Chalk.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Heavenly Hunt for a 20,000-year-old?
No, but see, before we carry on, Ivor the Engine. There was Ivor the Engine, but there was also the one that was a machine as well. What was the other one?
Tolerance level reached.
Don't carry on. No. Seriously though, there was Ivor the Engine. What was the other one? No, not Thomas the Tank Engine. There was also one that was like a machine that used to like absorb things.
Oh,
you're right. Look, you're bringing that in. You're bringing it in.
Wait a minute.
There was Ivor the Engine, and there was something else.
This is not entertaining.
Oh, the woman. It was a female name.
Yes.
It
was, the machine Martha.
No, yes. No, it wasn't.
Bertha. Yes. See, I'm not an idiot.
You are drunk and an
idiot.
That
was
right. So what did he say? 15. Heavenly Hunt for a 20,000-year ostrich.
For Mr. Triptych says Bertha. He's fucking right. It was Bertha.
For thousands of years, a remote colony of Bolivian Indians have gathered once a year to dance and drink for days. Why? They have forgotten, they told archaeologist
Sorry, Alan said Big Bertha.
George Michanowski. But astronomers of the American space program now think that those celebrations may pinpoint a cataclysm far out in space. 10,000 to 20,000 years ago, the Indians, they believe, are commemorating the violent death of a star, a super H-bomb explosion that blazed up in the sky and for a few months would have been as bright as the moon. John Brandt, one of the NASA astronomers who did the detective work, commented, "If this is right, and there is no obvious argument against it, it could be the closest explosion to Earth that we have identified." Astronomers started the hunt when they found a giant wisp of gas, the so-called Gum Nebula, surrounding one of the mysterious pulsars that flash like a lighthouse many times a second. It was in the constellation Vela in the southern sky, and it was very like the debris left when a star comes to a violent end, part of it exploding out into space, the rest collapsing into an unimaginably dense and tiny crushed star, the pulsar.
Have you ever watched all the footage for Star Bomba?
Don't know what you're talking about.
No. The Star Bomba is
the Star Bomba. Yeah.
It's the most scalable nuclear explosion ever created by humankind.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty cool.
Is it 250 megatons? Am I right?
Is this the bomb that the Russians let off?
Yeah.
This was you can't say that let off.
No, but this is literally the biggest nuclear explosion that was ever made.
Yeah.
I think it's about 250 megatons.
It's like over. I think it's like 100 megatons more than like the next nearest biggest.
Well, wasn't Hiroshima about 50 kilotons or something?
Oh, it's tiny.
Fucking peanuts in comparison. But this.
There was a genuine worry that if terrorists got hold of 2 nuclear bombs before they really understood nuclear weapons, and if there was a worry that if they let them off on either side of the globe at the same time, that they could actually interrupt the Earth's axis spinning. Obviously not, because
nuclear bombs are
serious amount of energy.
No, but seriously, nuclear bombs are fucking horrific. Obviously, they've been massively scaled down in recent times, but as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing more horrific than nuclear weapons. I mean, I'm not even looking into stuff
You
like.
ever had a really bad paper cut?
Alright, okay, a paper cut's quite bad, but on the grand scale of things, a paper cut pales into significance when you don't have any fingers left.
Depends how bad the paper cut is. The paper cut can be
Fuck
so
off.
bad.
Fuck off.
It can be
If you
so
don't
bad.
exist anymore, you don't give a fuck about paper cuts.
The Lizard Man of Scrape or Swamp.
Yes!
Yeah?
Please,
Yeah? Yeah, okay.
Very shifty, but Alan, see you later.
See you later, Al.
Night. The Lizard Man episode began when Christopher Davis, a shy black youth of 17 from Brown... What?
That's not Mike London.
This is what annoys me though. Why even include that? What fucking relevance does
Well,
that
you don't
have?
know that
right.
yet. You don't know that
When
yet.
was that written? I bet it was written in the 90s.
don't know
I
this
bet it was
yet.
written in the 90s.
Right,
don't
find
know
out
that.
when
Still okay to say that shit.
Martin,
You
before
don't
you
know where this is coming
please,
from.
Martin, before you continue, please find out when that book was published.
I told you it was already published in the 90s. Right? It was...
Yeah, but it's just like...
96.
Okay, 96.
Yeah,
so
there's
I
no
think
need-
we're
where people would still write stuff like that.
No, I think it's sort of semi-relevant.
It's relevant, right? Okay, let's hear it.
Semi-relevant because it's a
50
really...
meg. Andy says 50 megatons, but it could have been 100 megatons, but they scaled it down as the plane would have been fucked all. You're right. Actually, I do distinctly remember reading
Trying to
about the
find it
SAR
again
bomba,
now.
and they actually did scale down the operational megaton of it. But it's distinctly fucking
Did you
mental.
nearly say
the fact
Kelvin
that
balance?
Kelvin balance. Kelvin balance is the
You started
uniform.
saying it.
Kelvin balance is the
2000K.
uniform element for science. The number of times I've been caught out in science by not converting Celsius to Kelvin.
Guys,
is
I could
astronomical.
literally sit and do this all night, but see, at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be
Should
very
we do a
entertaining.
Lizard Man when I find him again?
Let's do this, but you're right. Sorry, the fact that you're right. We didn't convert kiloton to megaton correctly, but yeah. Irrespective of the fact that they scaled the SAR bomber down,
Yeah,
it's still fucking seriously scary at the operational volume that they really. I feel we should be on now.
Is this just a feeling, or are we back?
We should be.
Is it you feel it in your bones?
Live! It's Saturday night!
Sunday morning? No, it's Saturday morning. Are we back? Let's
Is
see.
he falling
You
asleep?
got your phone?
Looks like
Your
he's
phone
going to
now.
fall asleep. Yeah, hold on.
Father's brown 1976 Toyota Celicia down a deserted road across scrape or swamp on his way home. A short distance past the swamp, near an open field and a cotton crop, he had a flat tire and pulled over to fix it. As he was putting the tools away, he saw something running across the field towards him. It was about 25 yards away and had red, glowing eyes. Davis jumped into the car, jerking the door shut, and he found himself in a tug-of-war with a creature which grabbed a partially rolled-down car window. I could see him from the neck down, the 3 big fingers, long black nails. One report says it was 14 inches long. And
Was it black as well?
The fingers or the actual...
no, the fingers, yeah. The black nails. Were 14 inches long. And green rough skin. He was strong. That was still a quote. That's why he says he was strong. He got the door shut and took off. I looked in my mirror and saw a blur of green running. I could see his toes, and then he jumped onto the roof of my car. I thought I heard a grunt, and then I could see his fingers through the front windshield, where they curled around the roof. One report said that the creature grabbed the windshield wipers. Davis accelerated and swerved, and the creature...
Oh, Callum, you've drank far too much, mate.
And the creature tumbled off into the
Can we
dark.
fix it?
Yeah.
Other versions of his testimony add that the creature was at least 7 feet tall, had long arms, skin like a lizard, snake-like scales, and mossy arms. Also that the creature clung to his door handle as he drove away, only
Where
letting
was this?
go when, in Scrape or Swamp in South Carolina. Only letting go when he reached 35 to 40 miles per hour. Another variant has the creature jumping on the roof after Davis had driven only 2 yards. It then fell off and chased on foot up to 40 miles an hour. According to one account, the lizard man reeks of rot and has a disturbing orthodontia problem. When Chris Davis reached home, he honked until his parents came to the door, and then he ran inside. His father, Tommy, an electrician, investigated but found nothing except the wing mirror was twisted round funny. A few days later, he found scratches on the roof. All I can tell you is that my son was terrified that night, he said. He was hysterical, crying and trembling. It took a while before he was calmed down enough to tell us what happened. Chris Davis told his family and friends about the creature, but didn't call the police, figuring they wouldn't believe him. 2 weeks later, on 14th of July, Tom and Mary Way found their Ford chewed up near the swamp. Besides scratches, trim had been pulled off and bite marks were visible in the fender well. Some reports said a hood ornament was missing and wires were pulled out of the engine. Police investigated and a friend of Davis told them what the latter said he had seen. Davis was called in to tell his tale. The creature was dubbed... What is he?
He's fucked. He's actually fucked. I've been listening to that, and the thing is, it's an interesting one, but I've just watched him for the last 5 minutes.
The creature was dubbed the Lizard. The story hit the paper. Sheriff's deputies and neighbours spoke highly of Davis, the youngest of 7 children. We checked out his reputation and he's a pretty clean-cut kid, no drinking or drugs, said Lee County Sheriff Liston Truesdale. He's also agreed to take a polygraph test or to go under hypnosis. We may do that when I get a chance. After Lizard Man had hit the headlines, a construction worker called George Hallowhen came forward to say that in late June he was filling a jug with artesian water near the swamp when a big, healthy creature with big eyes. Big, healthy creature with big eyes. Like dead healthy.
Nice shining teeth.
Yeah, a big, healthy...
Good genetics is what I'm saying.
Yeah, a big, healthy creature with big eyes. Because, you know, things in the swamp, I guess. I don't know.
No.
Jumped at him from the woods and chased him down a desolate road that runs along the swamp's south side. By the end of August, Sheriff Truesdale was maintaining that the Hallowhen sighting was 8 or 9 months earlier. He saw a large object that at first he thought was a tree, said Truesdale. Then he looked round and saw it was moving. It was huge and black, and when a car passed and light reflected from its eyes, they looked sort of reddish. Then he stated that it ran back into the swamp. State Trooper Mike Hodge began spending his midnight patrolling the swamp with County Deputy Wayne Atkinson. They both came to believing that there was definitely something out there. On the night of the 24th of July, teenagers Rodney Nolf and Shane Stokes from the nearby Turkey Creek were cruising near the swamp with 2 girlfriends about 3 a.m. when something dark darted 20 feet in front of their car. It was too big to be a deer, it stood on its hind legs, and it was too muscular to be a man. It seemed to be about 7 feet tall, said Stokes, 15. It turned its head once and its eyes glowed. Don't know exactly what colour, but it ran across the road, past the bridge and into the swamp where Interstate 20 meets Highway 15. The boys wanted to investigate, but their girlfriends refused. Instead, they drove to the sheriff's department. That's like always a good excuse for being chicken. Oh, nah, my girlfriend says I've not to go. I'm definitely going out there. No, don't.
No,
alright,
no,
that's fine. No,
Tom,
no worries.
Don't find out what it was.
No, I don't want to.
I can tell
I
you.
don't want you to be worried, Ted. Where was it? I don't doubt that they saw something, said Anderson. They were visibly upset. After checking the site, Atkinson and Hodge drove down...
Mark, do you want a drink?
No, I'm fine, thanks. Drove down tree-shrouded and unmetalled Bramlett Road leading into the swamp and saw 3 40-gallon cardboard drums that had been dragged from a dump, crushed and scattered on the road. A few saplings had their tops ripped off about 8 feet up. Then they noticed an enormous 3-toed footprint, 14 inches long and 7 inches across, and an inch deep in the hard ground. The prints were 40 inches apart and the officers followed them for 400 yards. They drove to the end of the road, returning 5 minutes later when they found fresh tracks across their tyre marks leading into the woods. They both felt as if they were being watched. A heavy shower washed the tracks away the following afternoon. Convenient. But 3 plaster casts had been taken, which Sheriff Truesdale intended sending along with some photographs of other footprints to the FBI for investigation. The sheriff was convinced there was something in the swamp.
Where did the boat
It's quite an interesting one.
I like it.
The
There's
fact that
actually
a few people involved.
Yeah.
A few witnesses.
What do we think about the X-Files come back after this length of time? All in my obvious fucking pretension towards Gillian Anderson. I'll let her do anything, but have we got the bottle opener handy? And do we think that the X-Files can X-Files can come back after listening to the because I know the last movie was kind of viewed with somewhat
mediocre,
derision,
wasn't it? Yeah, but I think that was the quality of the script rather than their performances.
I think it was not also done on the cheap. Was it sort of rushed?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Like I kind of. It's hard to say because there was some elements of it that probably were quite big budget, but yeah, it just felt like a slightly passable Monster of the Week episode. It was a bit mediocre, but it all depends on the script.
But that's
it's all down to the script.
The problem I had with X-Files, I absolutely adored the X-Files for the first few seasons, and the problem I had with it was that if you didn't like the overarching alien abduction story to do with his sister, then you were basically cut adrift, and that's what happened to me, because I loved the sort of Twilight Zone-esque anthology, well, more like Cold Shut the Night stuff.
Yeah. Well, word is that the new series, the 6 episodes, 6, possibly 7, there's a rumour that the final episode's actually going to be split into 2 and be a 2-parter and make it a total of 7, but that's not confirmed. But some of the actors have said they think it's going to be 7 rather than 6. I don't know. But basically the word is that the first episode and the last episode are going to be part of the overarching...
I'd watch fucking Gillian Anderson and anything. I'm not going to lie. I mean, as much as I love X-Factor...
X-Files.
X-Factor is not the same thing as much as I love X-Factor.
No, they're not the same thing.
As much as I love X-Files, Gillian Anderson is a huge draw. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
She's aged very well.
She has.
Yeah, but the X-Files is about more than just like the fact that Gillian...
Alright, David Duchovny as well,
but we don't talk about that.
I mean that if you watch, especially the first couple of seasons, the scripts are just really strong.
Yeah.
And the monster
the word
formula.
Word is though that the first episode and the last episode will be mythology episodes, and the 4 episodes in the middle will all be Monster of the Week.
Yeah, see, I'm more interested in that because I would have to go back and watch. You know, like I feel like I would have to go and watch and catch up because I think I maybe lost interest around about the 4th or 5th season.
Yeah,
but for a while, the X-Files the X-Files was like. It was like, remember when Friends was on? It was like a cultural phenomenon, you know. I ended up, I really couldn't be bothered with Friends because it just became so poor. Friends. Yeah, it became so poor. And if you actually watch Frasier, which was on at the same time as it's that you realise the difference in standard of writing.
Yeah, I find Friends has got a very formulaic style. Like every character has certain set types of lines that they deliver.
I still maintain though the first season or 2 seasons of Friends is actually pretty good. In fact, it's very good. But after that,
it got quite derivative, particularly Chandler's humour.
Yeah, I think the entire thing just sort of fell apart as time went on. But at the time, like Friends, even if you don't like Friends, it was a cultural phenomenon. It was involved. It was there constantly, and it affected a lot.
What's
of people.
Her name?
The X-Files was like one of the only TV series that wasn't like this sort of comedy that actually managed the same crossover appeal, because for the first couple of seasons of X-Files, as far as I remembered, everybody sat down and watched that TV show when it came on.
What's her name that plays Phoebe? What's her name that plays Phoebe? What's her...
Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow. She actually did an interview with Matthew Perry when he took over from...
Piers Morgan.
Yeah, where he was saying that he actually missed it, and he said that he wished Friends would actually go on, but as you could see from Lisa Kudrow was kind of going,
there was a lot of rumours,
it died when it did.
There were a lot of rumours that Lisa Kudrow was one of the main ones that was kind of like, I don't want to really do this anymore, but
it died at a point where people were still wanting it. That's almost an important thing. You look at shows like Fawlty Towers, Father Ted and stuff like that. Dying when people still want more of it is an important thing. But good job with the wig, by the way.
In the case of
please get as much of the wig with you out as possible, so that when we use it in the insider, it's fine.
But going back to the horror side of things, there was this lovely moment.
Which should be the only side of things.
There was this lovely moment in the 1990s where you had the X-Files, and because of the success of it, first of all, Chris Carter got, which I thought, especially the first 2 seasons of Millennium were excellent. And there's actually a crossover episode.
Yeah, that's quite a good episode, actually.
And that was his way of trying to tie it up. My biggest, but anyway, sorry, in the 1990s, you had this period where people were trying to bring back things that were sort of horror orientated because of that, and you had the Outer Limits.
Sorry, 2 seconds. According to Smoking Babbit, the Twin Peaks is back.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's not back yet.
But David Lynch isn't involved.
No, there was. I think he threatened that he wasn't going to be involved, and then he's back involved.
David Lynch has made a couple of good movies. Other than that, he's extraordinarily wanky.
Elephant Man's extraordinary.
No, that is one of the ones I would put out as a phenomenal piece, and he did an excellent job of directing it, and it's brilliantly acted and brilliantly put together. But fucking Eraserhead and a few other ones that he's done, it's just like, fuck off, David.
I remember watching Twin Peaks when it was first on, and I went to school. I remember the first time Bob turned up in it, which sounds like a really funny thing to say. Bob turned up in it.
Also, Log Women's were dead as well.
But I remember going to school the next day, and it was one of those things where it was kind of like you were sneaking to see it. You know, like it was like, oh yeah, I'm just going into my room at like 9 o'clock at night and watching a TV show that you probably shouldn't have been watching at that age.
But is Twin Peaks a big thing when you were at school? Because I have never seen it.
It was really frightening, and also, I mean, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but the ending of, I mean, the fact that they're doing another one, because the end of the second season of the Twin Peaks was this massive cliffhanger, and although it didn't play as a cliffhanger, it played as this is the end of it, and it's just a really dark ending, and that's it. But now they're going to pick it up, you know. But anyway, so like the X-Files, like
X-Factor.
The X-Factor, yeah. Simon Cowell was the best monster I think I've ever seen. Especially the way he wore his jeans really halfway up his body. But no, there was that point in the 90s where, did you ever watch the second run of the Outer Limits?
Some of it, yeah. Some of it.
I always remember the opening episode, and it was Beau Bridges, who was the lesser known of the Bridges, you know, Jeff Bridges, and his father was... Oh Christ!
Kevin Bridges.
No, no, it was his dad's name. He was in a lot of things. So he was in Airplane, was what a lot of people
Jeff
remember
smashed
him
them all
for now.
out the park though.
But Beau, I remember that it was this episode where Beau Bridges had these insects in his basement, and he had them in this massive aquarium.
Oh, is that the episode about?
He was running an experiment.
Had incest in his basement.
No, he was running. It's alright for him to carry jokes. He was writing. He was doing a project which was trying to research these insects, and what he realised was that I don't know if they had some sort of extraterrestrial origin, but and they started like building monuments and things like that inside and they even built something that looked like his face, as if they were like worshipping him, and it was quite interesting. I liked it. Good. Are we calling it a night here, chaps?
Yeah, I'm sleepy now. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you very much to those who have stuck with us to the end. Tonight has been a blast.
Crazy, yeah.
But it's been a bit crazy. It's been probably the craziest.
It's been fun though.
But it's been good, a good laugh. And tomorrow,
possibly the longest stream we've ever.
Cheers.
Later on tomorrow, we're going to be doing, I guess, to my
empty
fellow
glasses.
Ghastly Tales.
Callum's isn't empty.
And to Alan and Meek, who aren't here as well. And
before we go, here's a creepy Halloween, guys. I'm off to run my costume housewarming Freddy Fazbear costume. Come on, Elizabeth. You're not doing a 5 Nights at Freddy costume. Come on.
I'll let her do what she wants.
I'm not stopping you doing it, but it's a little bit derivative. Ghastly Tales costume. People
you do whatever you want to do. Let's just get this shit in there. So anyway, thank you very much to everyone that's watched. We have a new horror film that's coming out. Sometime,
fingers crossed tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it should be. Yeah, it'll be out.
But stay at home
at some point. Yeah, because Callum has to finish the editing of it. But
guys,
hopefully, Callum will be fine. So we'll do that. Happy Halloween, everyone. Hope you all have a great time, and we will see you soon for another Ghastly Tales.
Whee! Gentlemen.
Splash! My hand as a... Oh no, that's not a Hitler salute, sorry.
Peace out, Nigs.
Oh, Callum, mate, you can't... Mate.
Alright, okay.
Mate, no.
You can't get away with that as a privileged white male.
You can't joke about that, mate. We know you're joking, right? But the guys at home don't know that.
Peace out, white Scottish people that are pretty much white as fuck, and they're basically based on milk.
Fucking hell, Tyler.
Yeah.
You're
have a good night, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Ignore him.
We love people.
When he opens his mouth,
when
he opens his mouth, you just hear static, right?
We'll see you all in the next video. Alright, let's go. I need to get home because I've got shit to do.
See you later, kids.
We need to go home and barricade ourselves in so we get fucking